Chief 35-yard line. There's the knee, and there it is. The Colts win it. The Colts knock off the Chiefs tonight in Arrowhead on Sunday Night Football, and they spoil the party here in Kansas City. Final score, it's the Colts 19 and the Chiefs 13.
And welcome in. It is a Monday where everybody is happy. Everybody is tired, yet everybody is happy because of what transpired last night on Sunday Night Football. Listen, you got to tip the cap and acknowledge basically everybody last night. I was trying to think if there was anybody on the team that you would not necessarily acknowledge. And everybody's pissed at Eric Ebron right now, so I guess maybe not him. But, I mean, still, that was about as big of a team effort. You'll have to look this up for me. I couldn't remember, but it occurred to me last night that this was, to me, akin to the first game after the Colts acquired Trent Richardson. Now, follow me here because I'm not likely brightening your day by bringing this up, but it was the first game after. Remember, I mean, this was back during the Pagano and the Gregson era, and what they wanted to do, they wanted to run the football, wanted to get tough, wanted the defense to get tough. You know, all the normal things that oftentimes just and all the normal things that never happened here back then. And they played San Francisco out there. That was Jim Harbaugh-led San Francisco 49ers. And I think it was more of a combination of Ahmad Bradshaw and Trent Richardson than it was Trent Richardson. But that's the game that stuck out to me. I mean, just kind of overall out-toughing the opposition. And that's what you saw last night. Really, last night, Kansas City effectively looked like, not as good, but looked like what the Colts would look like back in the day. You know, and teams approach, and we talked about this all last week, and I brought it up on Friday's show too, and then when Big Joe and I were doing the Colts pregame huddle together last night, we talked about this with Rick Venturi, who joins us today at 5:30, or checked at 4:30. But you know, it's one of those things where you kind of flip the script on it. I mean, you want to occupy the football, you want to get first downs, you want to keep manageable down and distance, not getting behind the chains. You wanted to, again, occupy it while also scoring. Now, the one thing they didn't do last night was once they got into the red zone, they did have to settle. You don't want to have to settle, but last night they got it done without doing that. Well, they scored one touchdown last night. Who out there would have thought they would have beaten Kansas City in Kansas City on Sunday Night Football if I were to tell you on Friday that they would score just one touchdown? Who would have thought that? But it's a tip of the cap to everybody. The game-changing moment, though, and I feel bad for the dude, I really do. He broke his ankle. He's done for the season. But Teray provided the game-changing moment and then kind of added on to the game-changing moment. And I'm not advocating that you go out there and try to hurt somebody, but playing football and playing hard, as we had talked about. You know, and everybody kind of throws around the whole smash mouth. You got to play smash mouth. And we were talking about this yesterday, and Rick Venturi gave some, and I don't know if he's going to revisit that, but he talked about like a rabbit. Yeah, seriously, he gave some rabbit analogy that Joe and I were sitting here and kind of saying, well, that's an interesting analogy, but it was an analogy for being tough and being tough on both sides of the football, which clearly they were not the week prior. They weren't even close. Thus, the Raiders get a win. And we ripped them basically all week for that, both sides of the football. And that's exactly what they did last night. I mean, that was completely different than what I had to witness back in January in Kansas City. I mean, that was a team, no matter who it was, by the way, too. Because you had guys already injured. You had guys that were having to play, having to get snaps that you would have thought, you got to be kidding me. I'm telling you, those guys are the secondary. You know, you're talking about George Odom, Kari Willis. I mean, those guys, we always say, well, he's not ready for prime time. Those guys last night were ready for prime time. I mean, it was just a great team effort, and one that hopefully you can build from. We talked about this the entire season to this point. To me, they can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody. And I think we've seen two really big, and I know everybody's saying, well, look what the Raiders are doing now because they've won 2 consecutive, but still, the analogy stays the same. I mean, they can lose to anybody and they can certainly beat anybody. And the last 2 weeks absolutely shows what the Colts can do and what the Colts, if they struggle, can't do or might allow others to do. But you cannot do anything but come away with an incredible impression on both sides of the football. So I'm going to guess everybody's going to take a rest on Matt Eberflus for a week by virtue of just sitting back and waiting. Teray, though, let's go back to Teray for a moment. I mean, he slashed the MVP's tire. Not meaningfully, but he did. From that moment, and then from the time when Teray pushed the old lineman back, I think it was Irving, pushed him back, and then Irving stepped on Mahomes' ankle. He just wasn't nearly the same. The MVP effort that you saw for that touchdown pass that was just incredible, and he's throwing sidearm, and holy crap, he's looking like an MVP. And I know everybody out there, you're hiding your eyes a little bit. You're thinking, oh, here we go. But when Teray aggravated that already kind of sore ankle situation for Patrick Mahomes, that changed everything. Absolutely everything. From that point on, he was not as active, not as elusive, not as quick. Didn't really want to leave the pocket very much. I mean, if you remember, late in that game, it was after the offensive lineman stepped on him. Grover Stewart kind of just ran into him for that sack. Hey, whoa, holy, there he is, right there in front of me. Boom. And you effectively, you slash a tire. And give yourself, they gave themselves an opportunity. Robert Mathis, I think, also tweeted this out. It might have been late last night. When you get to the quarterback and you put the quarterback on the turf, that changes everything for any of them, and that is so right. It changes everything for all of them. There was more of a reason for it last night because of Teray, but it changes absolutely everything because that wasn't the same dude. And, man, you can tell that they hadn't been done like that in a while because they were all getting pissed. Travis Kelce was upset. That was not the same type of game that we saw back in January, was it, with Travis Kelce, where you wondered, hey, this guy is good. You guys going to get near him? You're going to get physical? They got physical with him. He got pissed. And, hell, he had the luxury of having a couple of calls go his way, not suggesting they're inaccurate, but calls go his way nonetheless. The Okereke pick, I don't know how you overturn that. And then you don't overturn the PI. Listen, the 100 on their hats this year is for the 100 flags that they're going to throw every single game. And last night it was evident, and it was evident on both sides. Listen, there's nothing I like more doing than throwing shade, if you will, at the NBA officials because sometimes I think they deserve it and it makes me laugh, and sometimes I think the NBA deserves it. So it makes me laugh. Last night was one of those nights, and I thought, man, this game is like how long again? You get to every play, and you just kind of wait for it after every play. I can't remember a game where defensive holding was called as much as it was last night. That had to be some sort of record. Can we look up records, NFL records for the most defensive holding calls in one game? Breland had like 4 of them himself. I can't believe that he's still on the team today. I figured that he would get cut at some point. He had 4 of them. 4. And see, how many of those, if not all of them, were against T.Y. Hilton? That's what T.Y. Hilton brings to the table. If he's not getting double-teamed, I mean, they're doing that because they know the dude is the game breaker. I mean, he didn't have, big stats last night, but he was certainly huge. And the other thing, besides getting to the quarterback, and as Robert Mathis tweeted last night, getting the quarterback on the turf, the other thing you can do is you can occupy the clock, you can keep possession of the football, you can keep getting first downs, and you can run the foot. When you can do that, everybody's screwed. I mean, screwed. How many shots did you see of Patrick Mahomes sitting over on the bench? I mean, that was the theme last night, besides maybe his ankle. But I thought more of the theme was how many times that they showed Patrick Mahomes sitting over on the bench. That is the definition of how to beat them. And you know what? They're ready to be beaten by a team that really can block, really can run the football, as the Colts have done so far this year, because I don't know, there's still time, but that defense doesn't look anywhere near as good as the one that I saw last January. And as I said last week, everybody on that defense got fired. I mean, if they thought that defense was the problem, or that defense was the difference between Kansas City going to the Super Bowl and not, I mean, this one last night was a mess. They couldn't stop anything. Anything. And hell, they had guys go down too. I mean, Chris Jones goes out. I think Frank Clark goes out. I mean, it was an amazing game to watch. It was a lot of fun. It was one of those throwbacks because it wasn't one of those video game Super Tecmo Bowl type of games. I mean, it was, for the Colts. I mean, we talked about the game plan last week. What do you got to do? What you had to do to beat them on that night in their building was exactly what the Colts did last night. You have to give them absolute credit, and all the way around too. Because I was, again, trying to think about who you could come up with and think, well, you got to do better. I mean, obviously Eric Ebron and, being better in the red zone. Those are maybe the two things that I came up with. If anybody else has anything else, please bring it up. I mean, the injuries suck. I'm telling you what, though, I'd be actively thinking about getting some of these young dudes, regardless of when, especially defensively, regardless of when some of these guys come back, more snaps. Because they were flying around in a fashion that I think most Colts fans want to see. And you know what? I think deep down inside, Colts fans deserve that. You've been through a lot of crapola, right? A lot of crapola. Good moments so far. Had that Raider moment, certainly. But, I mean, the entire offseason, and then, everybody got inaccurately described, painted with a broad stroke. As far as the whole luck thing, I think Colts fans deserve that. It was so reminiscent of that Frisco game, going back when. And hopefully that's just the beginning, too. It's funny about the comparisons everybody wants to make between Brissett and Luck is this. This is exactly how they approached a year ago, Andrew Luck. This is how Chris Ballard wants to play. This is how Frank Reich wants to play. I mean, they want to be able to run the football. I mean, this is why they have 3 first-round selections and 1 second-round selection on that offensive line. I think it's because they just like drafting offensive linemen high. This is why they, add Nelson, add Kelly, add Braden Smith to the mix with Anthony Costanzo. Remember, we were about ready to run Costanzo, I think, everybody out on a rail at one point in time, and now, hell, he's like anything that, besides Quentin Nelson, he's one of the folks that everybody's talking about right now. But it was impressive. That's exactly what they had to do, and they did it. But make no mistake about it, I mean, the signature moment of the game was poking a hole in the tire of Patrick Mahomes. When the MVP got a flat tire, that absolutely opened up the door. But running the football going for it on fourth down. I mean, really, it wasn't like a video game, but then again, sometimes it is the way that Frank Reich handles it. Using analytics. I showed the two analytics guys sitting up in the press box last night, too. But it is impressive. So we can talk about that if you like at 239-1070. I'm assuming that you want to. 239-1070. Email address at JMV at 1070thefan.com. On Twitter at JMV1070. It's a bummer about Toure, though. I thought Toure was really good last night. Other than on that play where Mahomes is scrambling around before his tire was flat, when he was scrambling around and making that play, and, you want to try to keep him in. I think that was Toure's job to try to keep him in, and he didn't. But, man, Toure got him out of the game. Check that. Toure kept him in the game but got him out of his game, which was pretty impressive. And a lot of you are incredibly happy today, so more power to you. Marlon Mack looked outstanding. Jordan Wilkins, when he was in there, did. Naheem Hines, when he was in there. Just hard-pressed to find anything that really didn't go right. I mean, the officiating, was it Odom that got called on that PI when there was a hold in the end zone, and that could have put it to bed right then, but at least that was offsetting. But I don't know what more anybody could do or what more anybody can ask for. That's a pretty damn good night. So we'll discuss that at length, the rest of week number 5 of the NFL, which concludes later on this evening with the Browns on the road at San Francisco. I took the points and took the Colts. So I was living in luxury last night. I was a winner before the final gun, which was nice. Adam Vinatieri's back in the swing of things. It's like he's shaking off the yips of the early season. I was trying to think about this. I think this was still when Andrew Luck was under center, and I said, for this team to get a divisional round playoff game, that you got to win one from the Chargers or the Chiefs, one of those two games. And obviously things have changed dramatically since that point in time. One is the Chargers, they look like kind of a mess too right now. And when you win a game like that, it makes up for a loss, as the Colts had last Sunday against Oakland. But what it also allows you to do, if you're a fan, is to think about where you might be if Adam didn't have the yips in week 1, if you weren't barrel rolled by the Raiders last week. It does allow you to think about that. But for me, what it does, it is setting up something that should be a hell of a fun game after the bye week, and that is Houston, who also won, and Deshaun Watson looked really good. So we'll get, I guess, some sort of an October showdown whenever the Colts are back after the bye week. But, man, that is a way to go out if you're going to go out in the bye week. I'm impressed, too. You know what you also do? You also allow, and we have this around here too. I mean, we hear from knuckleheads, and sometimes the knuckleheads have a mic or a pen or a television camera, but you play so well. Do you have the sound of that call? How long is this? I blank you not. This is just like fans in general. So I'm more friends with the 810 guys in Kansas City than I am with the 610 guys. But this is sound. I went on 610 earlier last week, and I don't think it was this show. I can't remember which one it was. And maybe it was this one. I don't know. But this was a caller calling in earlier today. Do you have that ready? On 610 in Kansas City. And this goes to show you how quickly people can turn because of football disappointment. A call regarding Patrick Mahomes. This is 610 in Kansas City this morning.
Hey, Lon, man, great show, long-time listener. I've been a Chiefs season ticket holder since June of '96, and I can say I've seen definitely more bad football than good football in my time being out there. I called last week, and, man, my friends were roasting me because I said it was time to look into truly trading Mahomes.
Right. Remember, Kev, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, last night my buddies and I were watching a game of Hooters, and we had a couple beers, so everybody got a little lively, and they jumped on me again, and I just said, just wait, just watch. Same thing. The guy's a front runner. He's empty stats, and it's pretty clear after watching last night that he's lost the team. The team is sick of playing for him because all he wants to do is throw his cute little sidearm passes, make his little ESPN moments, doesn't care about winning. I mean, it goes back to his college days. He got Cliff Kingsbury fired. I mean, he's a coach killer.
How about that right there? That's a Chiefs fan regarding Patrick Mahomes. The game basically, the balance of the game went right in the lap of the Colts when Teray first got to Mahomes. When Mahomes was no longer allowed to be Mahomes, that's when that thing went to the crapper for them. And credit the Colts because they kept the accelerator down with doing what they were doing to the point of winning that game. That's fan right there. Patrick Mahomes, empty stats, his ESPN plays. I mean, really, to me, it looks like he's the only reason that team looks any good. Running around trying to make a play. Because, listen, that defense there, that's better than last year's. Pretty incredible. All right, if you're on hold, we're going to get loaded up and good to go at 239-1070. 4:30, Rick Vincere tells you, and Rick had a great couple of analogies yesterday on the Colts pregame huddle regarding what needed to take place, and a lot had to do with the defense and the defensive approach that looked just absolutely 180 compared to the way that it looked against the Raiders a week ago Sunday. Rick's going to join us, take some of your calls at 4:30, but I got you at 239-1070. Other side next.
Sports gamblers, let's go. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 to Bet Indiana right here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Chad and Tyler Peterman.
Before Old Man Winter arrives, now's the time to call Peterman for our $59 preseason furnace tune-up.
It's a great way to make sure your home stays comfortable in cold weather.
And at just $59, our furnace tune-up is a smart investment for your peace of mind.
But don't delay. Winter will be here sooner than you think.
Schedule your $59 preseason tune-up today.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
I was dragged underneath the car. It was a frightening experience, and I just wasn't going to die that day.
Danny was a road worker on a road job site. Just minutes before his day ended, it happened.
I don't even know the amount of feet that she dragged me underneath the car.
A reckless driver in a construction zone hit Danny.
It was so quick that I couldn't even react.
Lifeline was called in.
I sustained a traumatic brain injury. I was bleeding from my head and both of my ears. I had to have my head drilled.
Danny would see the inside of a hospital for more than 3 months.
I just wanted to go home. Home is where my heart was.
10 seconds.
They took her to jail.
And your life changes forever.
I'm not vindictive, but you got what you got coming to you.
If you injure a road worker because of careless driving through a construction zone, you will be prosecuted. No excuses.
God help you,
For your sake and theirs, read the signs. Slow down. Pay attention.
A message from Indiana Laborers Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for Steffi Hadaway Insurance. Did you know that life insurance is the best way to give tax-free money to family and friends? It's the best way to give it to your favorite charities, nonprofit organizations, or your high school or college alma mater. Don't put off buying life insurance protection for another day. Give Mike Steffi and his team at Steffi Hadaway Insurance a call, 317-334-3743 today, or shiagency.com, and tell them Dan Dockett sent you.
Mahomes under center, hands off to Damian Williams, stacked up. I don't think he got it. No, sir. Justin Houston, a homecoming of sorts again for the big fella. 99 for the Colts. Knifes in there, gets a tackle for a loss on 4th down, and the Colts take over in plus territory inside the Chief 35-yard line.
Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts. That Jim Sorgi riding shotgun right there. That's this week's Dream Moment, presented by Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams every day.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Come share a Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party next Monday from 5 until 7 at the Meijer in Zionsville, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet a current Colts player and have a chance to win tickets. Live from the Winner's Circle downtown this Thursday, 3 until 6, it's JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots while making your sports bets of the week.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
Steve Barry from the Sports Plus Network here, previewing tonight's big game out in San Francisco between the Browns and the 49ers. What do we like about tonight's matchup, Steve?
Well, Cleveland coming into San Fran laying 4. The total's 46.5. Cleveland coming in at 2-2, but I think they're a better team than that record. San Fran coming in at 3-0. Cleveland coming off that lambasting of Baltimore, 40-25. San Fran coming off the beating of Pittsburgh, 24-20. Guys, if you haven't called us before, do yourself and your wallet a huge favor. The call tonight is free. The winner is free. Your profits are free. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. Guys, we'll tell you who's going to win. We'll tell you why they're going to win. It's amazing how easy winning can be when you have the right information sources, which we do. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. Cleveland, San Francisco winner at no charge from Sports Plus Network.
With mortgage rates in the 2s, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Golden Oak Lending has lowered mortgage rates to 2.875.
And that's a fixed rate. This is James Hawkins. If you're struggling with credit card debt, we can help you pay it off at a low rate.
At 2.875, now's the time to fix the house. Finish the basement. You have so many choices.
We're easy to work with, and we'll give you a free mortgage checkup right over the phone, so you can find out exactly how much you can save. Or apply online at goldenoaklending.com with our fast Zipline mortgage.
Call our Indy office at 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Our experts will walk you through it all. And if we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, FHA 15-year fixed, APR 3.915, 20% equity with approved credit. Regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Follow me, son. I want to show you something that most homeowners only dream about. It's Larry Howald. Legend has it that Howald Heating and Air Conditioning and Carrier have made thousands of people comfy cozy in their homes.
So what is he, Dad, a mattress salesman?
No, son, he's not a mattress salesman. But he does work for the best heating and air conditioning company in town. Howald Heating, Air, and Carrier always come through delivering comfy, cozy feels for everyone. Turn to the experts with Carrier Howald Heating and Air Conditioning, where coming home never felt so good.
Looking for a jeweler you can trust with your treasures? See Pierce Jewelers in Carmel before you spend your hard-earned money somewhere else. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection and best deals. Hubler has it all.
For your Sports Plus Network perception, tune in Monday, Thursday, and Saturday afternoons as Joey Molinaro and Steve Barry from Sports Plus Network talk about that night's game.
Think you know Colts football, but do you really know what's happening? It's not just football season. It's Venturi season.
Brought to you by the District Tap, craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and now downtown at Georgia Street and Meridian.
Catch the coach every Monday at 4:30 with JMV, with bonus Coach Venturi. Tuesdays on the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, and later with Dan Dockett on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
All right. Any of you suckholes want to come up here and knock me off?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Brissett dips under center on 1st and 10. Again, he'll hand off to Marlon Mack. Starts right, cuts left. Huge hole, cuts back. There he goes. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. And he's caught from behind and pushed forward down to the 5-yard line. Marlon Mack, a gain of 30. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Colts inside the 5.
That's our friend Matt Taylor right there. That's the long of the night from Marlon, 30. All of a part of a 29-carry, 132-yard Sunday night at Arrowhead. That is a nice, tidy smidge over 4.5 per carry, and everybody's in love with it. And you should be, too, because what they did, recipe for beating the Chiefs is exactly what they did and how they played that out last night. It was impressive. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV, don't discount the game to Mahomes' ankle. Nobody's discounting the game to Mahomes' ankle. I just thought that was the moment of the game. I mean, if you want to look back at a signature moment of the game, that was it. That was Touré. Actually, not once but twice. First time, and then the second time it was effectively over. But the first time, I mean, after that, he was susceptible to any rush the Colts put on him. He wasn't getting away from anybody. So the signature moment, Tony Waters, that was. Thank you for the email. Hey, JMV, we buried Vinny when he had his bad game, so we can't let him get lost in the shuffle going 4 for 4. If he misses any of those, completely different. Wes, you're right about that. Hey, JMV, a coaching staff that doesn't have exorbitant amounts of grit and chops lots of wood, yet instead makes an actual adjustment or two, like more man under zone and effective blitz packages, was refreshing. The coaches put them in position, the players executed. Rodney, thank you. I thought there was a lot of that too. JMV, Mahomes is probably the best we have seen. However, do you think he is prone to injury, scrambling around chaotically? I think I would rather have a quarterback that has the pocket presence. Well, I mean, you can answer that question because you saw it a lot around here. You had the pocket presence of one guy, and then you had the scrambling around and running around chaotically one. Which one did you like better? Thank you, Brad. JMV, I had a chance to consume both Pacer games in Indy over the weekend. Yaney, I was entertained as hell out of both. The Saturday morning one was fantastic. And I'm trying not to get that excited because, it's a preseason game, or those were preseason games, but it entertained me. I can't remember the last time I was entertained by preseason games. And I mean everybody in that game on Saturday mornings. I'm right there with you. It was fun to watch. In that first game, TJ Warren put up 30, had the game tying 3. They went into overtime. I mean, hell, both games went over the 130 threshold, and the Sacramento's not that great. But I was entertained. I can't remember the last time I was entertained by a preseason NBA game. Yeah, I was then. Hey, Zach is at 239-1070. Hello, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, JC?
Great. Go ahead.
I've been kind of getting frustrated. I'm on the big Facebook group for the Colts, and a lot of people are giving Jacoby a hard time. And, I've been thinking this for a while. After having Peyton Manning and him living up to his expectations from the draft, plus, a whole lot more, and then we get Andrew Luck, who has obviously MVP ability. I think that a lot of our fans are kind of unprepared to feel like they're not in control of our quarterback. I feel like the transition here is one of the biggest in the history of the NFL and unexpected as well. And, he's got a deflated receiver core. We don't have Funchess. T.Y.'s banged up. Ebron's not playing to his true ability so far this season. And so I just feel like people need to relax. I don't understand why they keep getting on.
Well, they're better prepared for it now. I mean, when he was the starter a couple of years ago, that obviously there was no preparation for that, and that was the first year for Ballard. But, I mean, essentially what you get with Brissett right now is what they wanted to happen with Andrew Luck under center. I mean, all of this is a part of the plan. I mean, there's no, oh, crap, now we got to go from one guy to the other and change things up. This is all a part of the plan and has been, at least in the blueprint for what Chris Ballard has wanted to do now for 3 years.
No, exactly. I just don't. I mean, what's your viewpoint on why? I mean, I feel like there's a healthy amount of people that just want to dig at Jacoby and feel like he's not doing enough. When you have a running back and a running game that's doing what it's doing right now, why would you be frustrated? Play the ball like that.
I don't know why anybody would be frustrated out of last night. I mean, they're going to be measuring sticks. It's like last week against the Raiders, all right? That game was not on him, but there was you're down 7, you get the ball, what are you going to do, late in the fourth quarter, and you throw a pick 6. There are going to be moments when people are going to look at that, and, that game wasn't on him, but that certainly was a huge issue for him there. there are probably going to be moments when you're not going to be able to run the football that effectively, and it's going to come down to the quarterback, and then we'll see how he responds in those moments. But so far, this coaching staff, along with the personnel on this team, they have put him in a nice position to succeed, and I don't know why anybody would have an argument with that.
No, I like him. I hope that he's able to, I would like him to be a great story and be around with us for 10 years or so and do what we expected Andrew Luck to do for us. I think that he just needs to get a little better maybe at reading his receivers quicker, but, that's what I hope to see from him, be around for 10 plus years.
I can't. I'm not going to argue with you on that either, Zach. I mean, not stare at dudes. I guess there was a difference between last week, you got fooled, and then, last night maybe he just stared somebody down and Tyrann Mathieu made a play on the ball. But I've been fine with Jacoby Brissett. I've been fine with the way that he's been coached up because they have tried and I think succeeded in 3 of these games so far to keep him incredibly comfortable. And that's what anybody wants. But again, they were building toward this even with Luck as the quarterback. This is what they wanted to have happen. So to this point, they're starting now to reap the benefits of, the success of putting this thing or cobbling this roster together. This is what they want to do. This is exactly what they wanted to do with Luck. Tyler's at 239-1070. Tyler, hello. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, JMV?
Great, Tyler. Thanks for the call. Go ahead.
Hey, so our pass rush has been non-existent for the last 3 games, and then suddenly it shows up last night in big ways. How consistent do you think down the stretch this front four can be?
Well, listen, I didn't think too much of the offensive line of Kansas City. I don't want to take anything away from what those guys did. I thought that, and we'll talk to Rick about this at 4:30. I thought they changed things up. I thought they really came at them hard. You know what I mean? There was no sitting back or anything. I mean, they sent everybody. They didn't have Eric Fisher, I don't think, on the field last night in Kansas City, so that was certainly an issue for them. But I think when they got to Mahomes, that absolutely changed everything. I mean, it changed everything. And, when he got out of the pocket, he can make plays, and we saw that. But when they got to him and then they flattened that tire, they took a lot of what Kansas City offensively can do successfully away. And that is on Matt for doing that, and that is on the personnel. And I want to see more of these young dudes or some of these unheralded guys, because I thought guys like Odom, guys like Willis played incredibly well last night, too. I mean, especially on the back end of that defense, getting after guys, making sure tackling, running backs as well as doing some cover things. But no, I thought that Matt Eberflus did a good job of adjusting to what a lot of people were talking about they should do that they didn't do against the Raiders and stepped up last night in Kansas City to do. But that's more of a question for Rick, and I know he's got a lot of answers for it coming up at 4:30. But the impression was there, no doubt.
Yep. Thank you, John.
Tyler, you call anytime. I mean, everybody was all over Matt last week. But get to the quarterback no matter who he is, and that quarterback and that offense is going to have some issues. Greg writes this: I'm giddy about the Pacers. I need someone to talk me down. See, I kind of find myself there too. They were fun as hell to watch this weekend. Watching those games this weekend showed me how much harder it was to watch the NFL than it is the NBA. The NBA is so much more entertaining. It's sad. I wouldn't have said that 5 years ago. I still like the NBA and I love the NFL, but I get what you're talking about. It was just, I think it was a combination with the Pacers of the fresh newness of it, right? Make up some words here. And some things that were missing last year that you see now, and you're thinking, man, they're going to be better off for this. And this is even without Vic. And it's just a preseason game. Hopefully, once the regular season gets underway, when they kick things off at home against Detroit, things remain the same. But I felt myself feeling the same way. I can't remember the last time that I came away or did not want to leave the room when a preseason NBA game was going on. All right, more calls on the other side. Rick's coming up at 4:30. Man, yesterday's Week 5 of the NFL was interesting. A lot of flags. Did you say Breland had 5 yesterday, had 4 defensive holding, and then he had a pass interference against Deion Kane? 5? He was responsible for 5 penalties. 5. How does he not get cut? I'm telling you. 5 penalties. But I will say this. I mean, the flags are flying everywhere. And I don't know why you have challengeable calls like that pass interference against T.Y. when it is clear he did nothing and you don't overturn it. Just take it away and we'll live with it. All right? Just take it away and we'll live with it. Everybody will live with it. All right, you missed a call, great. But don't give us this bull crap about how, you know what, we're going to go back and look, because, I mean, there was nothing more obvious than that. There was 0 more obvious than that. That was nothing.
A single call this year on that pass interference rule?
I asked that question last night. I can't remember a time in watching a game where they have. And frankly, if you're not going to do it on that call last night, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. And just don't do it. Don't worry about it. We won't worry about it. But everybody, I mean, after that New Orleans game, oh my God, we got to do something about this egregious call. Do you think that this system would have overturned that Saints call in the NFC title game?
After seeing that they didn't overturn that Hilton pass interference, I don't know. Because I thought that was as obvious as could be.
I thought that was just as obvious as the Saints play in the NFC title game. Oh, man, sometimes the NFL will wear you out. I mean, it will. That's why Greg and Carmel said that earlier. It will wear you out with all this crap. Quick one. Your call's coming up on the other side. Rick Venturi's at 4:30. I got Deep Purple tickets to give away this weekend, Murat Old National Center. How about that? Is it a farewell tour? You know any Deep Purple? There's no way you know any. You know what song that is? You ever play that on Guitar Hero?
I think that's the first song you have to learn on guitar, or even if you don't learn how to play guitar.
Smoke on the Water is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just you learn that song, how to play it on guitar.
I just know it because when I watched 2.5 Men, that's what Jake was trying to learn that on his guitar, and he kept playing that riff, right? The entire time. Got tickets for you coming up in a bit. Your calls and more on the other side. Sit tight.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you got to do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
Hey, neighbor. How's Josh? Haven't seen him in a while.
He took on a second job. You know, the boy just can't seem to figure out what to do with his life.
Yeah, Ryan was the same way. Being cooped up in an office cubicle just wasn't for him, you know?
Yeah, I don't think Josh is cut out for the office either.
So Ryan became a union electrician, and he's happier now. More confident and earning great pay. What? Hey, where are you going?
To talk to Josh. This is right up his alley.
This is Steve Mincer, business manager for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 481. Being a union electrician is rewarding. Our members earn good pay, full health care, and benefits that allow many to retire before the age of 60. Plus, our hands-on craftsmen get to see what they accomplish daily, something not always visible with a desk job. So if this sort of career sounds like a fit for a young person you know, someone reliable with a good attitude, learn more at ibew481.org.
Experience football, fans, and fun at the Children's Museum in the new indoor exhibit, First and Goal. Learn about Indiana's Super Bowl winning team, the Indianapolis Colts. Run the 10-yard dash and compete against the speed of Colts players. Kick a real football and score a virtual field goal. Cut loose in an end zone touchdown dance. Train like the pros in combine drills led by a real Colts player. Celebrate Indiana's football traditions at First and Goal at the Children's Museum. Open now.
Hey, John for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. Who's losing the lettuce on top? Who's in the mirror and you're combing your hair and you go, hey, man, look at all my hair in the brush, or look at look at all the hair in the sink. You don't want any of that. Do you? You want your real growing hair again like you used to have it, and PAI can give you that. PRP, platelet-rich plasma works. 888-724-5129. Darren Andrews with the private consultation. If you want your real growing hair again, there's a way. PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Summer is over and cold weather is coming, and Universal Windows Direct will help you keep those heating bills down. Custom made to perform in our climate thanks to aerospace technology called Super Spacer, Universal Windows Direct windows are backed by a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free, absolutely no limits, and 0% financing is available for 3 years and free installation. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey, let's get you in a new ride here. Oh, remember back in the day, your parents or your grandparents used to go to the same place all the time because they trusted the folks in the car buying business, trusted everything about them. So they just consistently always went there. Well, you got this place because they kind of disappeared, but you have this place here in central Indiana. It's Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. Go over and talk to Ben Mendoza about how they can get you into a 2019 RAV4 that is awesome. They're the 2018 Dealer of the Year for a reason because they get you what you want. They put you in the vehicle of your choice, and their prices are fantastic. You'll love it. You'll love the way that you're dealt with and love the car buying experience just like your parents and your grandparents once did. So eyeball what they have to offer. AndyMooreToyota.com. Tell Ben Mendoza that I sent you to Avon. Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
You're a smart, hardworking roofing contractor. But how do you get ahead? By saving time with the Beacon Pro Plus app. The Beacon Pro Plus app works 24/7 for material ordering, automated rebate tracking, and online bill pay, all saving you valuable time. And during select weeks this fall, receive special rewards by purchasing high-quality CertainTeed products through Pro Plus. You work hard. Now work smarter. Sign up for free at beaconproplus.com today.
Mobile sports betting is coming, and BetIndiana News has you covered with all the coverage and insights you'll need to place that perfect bet. BetIndiana News, coming soon.
Homes are selling fast, and if you haven't found your dream home, listings are coming onto market daily. Get a leg up on your competition and get pre-approved in 5 minutes at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Pacers host the Chicago Bulls in preseason NBA action. Friday evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
I want you out in front of the school with her. I'd like to have a few words with you, by God.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, now it's 1st and 20 for the Chiefs back to their own 15-yard line. They trail the Colts by 6. It's 16-10. 7:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes backs to throw. He's got time. He's going to go down. It's Grover Stewart. The 3rd sack of the ball game for the Colts. It's the big fella. Grover gets some back to the 5-yard line. Mahomes goes down. Now it's 2nd down and forever.
Welcome back. Matt Taylor with the 2nd and forever. Let's do it again. A little Alice in Chains again right there. That's what the Colts did last night to Patrick Mahomes, getting the road win at Arrowhead over the previously unbeaten Kansas City Chiefs. It was impressive last night, to say the least. 19-13 final. Brissett, a modest 151 and a touchdown run. Had a pick. This is Tyrann Mathieu got him. But, man, when you're able to run the football like that, 29-132 for Marlon Mack, go for $180 as a team, and then plant the quarterback, deflate his tire so he can't run around and go wherever he wants and make plays and throw it sidearm and between his legs and behind his back, then you got yourself a winner right there. That's what they did. JMV, I agree with you on the Pacers. I don't know how good they'll be on D, but with Vic, this offense could be a machine. I enjoyed the 2 games so far. JMV, the signature moment was Houston's tackle for a loss. No, it wasn't, man. It wasn't. It was Teray. Injuries happen. Yeah, I know injuries happen, but that was the signature moment. It was it. All a part of the big picture, but that was the signature moment. Hey, JMV, I love the way Quentin Nelson buries a defensive lineman and then sprints downfield to help up every Colts running back. He sets the tone. I think a lot of people would agree with you. JMV, this is Ian from Shelburne here. Shelburne, by the way, is in Sullivan County. I see that Cinnamon Duke is doing well this week. I'm in first place, 12 points for the week. Go Niners. I'm all right. I think I'm going to win tonight. I'm 2 points behind. I got 3 dudes playing on Monday night. I got Jarvis Landry, Robbie Gold, and Greg Kittle, so I should be clear unless some disaster happens. Eddie in Silverdale, Washington writes this, JMV, where does this rank in regular season wins? Yeah, I don't know. I listen. You have every right to be hyped up because that was a big deal. I mean, they were double-digit dogs, written off, and really, that's when everybody around here thrives. I mean, in the underdog role, there's nobody that plays the underdog role better than, well, mostly teams around here than fans around here. I mean, everybody gets on board with a good underdog role. That was definitively won last night. But I know regular season wins. I mean, the Tampa Bay Monday Nighter is always going to be on the top of the list. But that was a big win last night. Make no mistake. Patrick's at 239-1070. Patrick, go ahead.
Hey, JMV, how's it going today?
Great. Thank you for the call. What's up?
I was just wanting to give the shout-out and props to the offensive line and the defensive line of the Colts. I mean, Quentin Nelson, Anthony Costanzo, they were pushing people back 5-10 yards so Marlon Mack can find holes and get down the field.
They were. They were doing a lot of the stuff that we didn't see him do against Oakland and question why it didn't happen against Oakland. But
right.
I'm telling you, it was a different looking team last night than it was the Sunday prior here. There's no question.
It was definitely a different team than what we have seen in the last 4 games.
It was. Anything else?
And like I said, props to the defensive line too for getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes, making sure that he can't make plays and getting out of the pocket and stuff like that.
It was good. That was the recipe. Thank you, Patrick, for the call. The recipe. So the Titans lose yesterday to the Bills 14-7. And I guess they're going to have a kicking tryout now. Oh, they can't do anything offensively. Mariota got sacked, 7 times, 6 times yesterday? Deshaun Watson looked really good, though. And the Falcons didn't. 53-32 over Atlanta at home. Will Fuller, 5. Had over 200 yards receiving and 3 TDs. If you had him in fantasy, you were probably good. The Colts a winner last night. Jacksonville a loser on the road at Carolina. And Jalen Ramsey went to see a back specialist in Houston and then got caught hanging out with Deshaun Watson in a picture. Oh, man. That's what they say, at least. And Jay Gruden got fired early in the morning. Washington made a change which won't help one bit. I'm telling you, there's going to be a good run to see who's going to go winless this season. Because between the Jets and the Bengals and the Redskins, there's a fairly good opportunity to see that happening. You got 3 solid opportunities right there. Quick one, we'll come back. Your calls, if you're on hold, I'll get to you. Rick Venturi in a little over 30 minutes. You guys got to hear that. Back with you next.
This is Mark Rowland from Indy Decorative Concrete. We've put our stamp in more backyards than anybody. Thanks to all the DIY shows, stamped concrete is finally getting its recognition. And why not? With all the textures, colors, we can even make your patio look like wood. Now here's the big win for you. I can still get your patio in this fall with a warranty. Drop by our website at indydecorativeconcrete.com, then give me a call.
Indy Decorative Concrete. Order it, stamp it, love it.
All right, it's time again to bring on Steve Berry from the Sports Plus Network. And Steve, real interesting one tonight. Cleveland back at 500 after a big win over Baltimore last week, going to the undefeated 49ers coming off of bye. What do you think about this one?
Well, this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup, much like the game on Thursday night between Seattle and the L.A. Rams. Cleveland visiting San Fran. San Fran laying 4. The total's 46.5. Cleveland coming in at 2-2 off that big win against Baltimore, 40-25. San Fran, as you said, coming in defeated at 3-0 after a win against Pittsburgh, 24-20. This is a matchup of two quarterbacks on the way up. Obviously, Baker Mayfield and Garoppolo both are leading their teams to a couple of very, very impressive wins. This is the type of game, though, that you really need to know what's going on with injuries, because there are injuries on both sides of the ball. There is late-breaking info on these injuries. It is free. It will help you make the right decision tonight. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. No strings attached. Call up, get the free winner. Guys, so far this year, our NFL record is 8-2. As you see, we don't release a lot of games, but when we do, we hit the mark. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. Cleveland, San Francisco winner at no charge from Sports Plus.
We got Steve Berry from Sports Plus Network on the line. And, Steve, you mentioned Cleveland off that big win in Baltimore, 2-2 now. What do you make of them? Because it was a rough start to the year. They're feeling out a lot of things. What do you like about Cleveland?
I think Mayfield is starting to feel as though the team is coming together. They do have the talent. They have a lot of talent on that team. It's just a matter if their new coach, Kitchens, can get them all on the same page. Right now, they're one game ahead of Pittsburgh. Cleveland has not opened the season 3-0 on the road since 1999, the year they returned to the NFL. Jarvis Landry is having a great year because Odell Beckham is being double-teamed almost every play. He's having his best game of the season against Baltimore, 167 yards. Their defense limited Baltimore to 222 passing yards. They sacked Lamar Jackson 4 times. This team could be for real. And guys, if you haven't called us before, do yourself and your wallet a huge favor. The call is free. The winner is free. Your profits are free. It's 1-888-895-6555. Cleveland, San Francisco winner at no charge from Sports Plus. Make the call. Get the winner, cash your ticket, call us tomorrow to say thank you. Once again, 1-888-895-6555, Cleveland, San Francisco winner at no charge from Sports Plus.
Hey, John, for CarX, who's in it for CarX right now? I love my guys, Joe Childers and Mike and the gang at CarX. In fact, I love them so much. The Tundra needs 2 new wheels. Not actual wheels, but tires on the wheels. So I'm going to go over there tomorrow because they are the place for tires, and I'm going to, not me, I'm not going to mount them. I could mount them if they wanted me to, but they're really good at it, and they don't let amateurs handle it. You go to the professionals, those that can do it right, so I'm going to go by Mike and have them mount a couple of tires on the Tundra because I trust them. I love them. Everything from tires to brakes, anything mechanically speaking, all your trusted auto repair with your trusted auto repair specialist in Indy for over 40 years. Man, I love them, too. They are awesome. You will, too. Any Central Indiana Joe Childers run CarX location, tell them I sent you. Car, truck, or van, they'll get it done and get it done right. Make it CarX today.
Come share a Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party on Monday from 5 to 7 at the Meijer in Zionsville, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet Kevin Bowen, a current Colts player, and win Colts tickets.
Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets. Stop by the Hinkle Ticket Office weekdays from 10 to 4 or call 317-940-DOGS to get your Butler basketball tickets.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Unbalanced line to the right side. Brissett relaying a message to Marlon Mack, who's in the backfield. Brissett takes a snap, hands off to Marlon Mack. He will get upfield looking, diving. He's got a first down. Marlon Mack up to the 35-yard line. And Marlon Mack picks up 5 on 4th and 2. And a great patient run following his blockers up the field. And the Colts convert. They stay perfect on the season on 4th down. They're now 6 for 6, and the drive continues.
Yeah. That's Matt Taylor. Jim Sorge tried to talk right there, but we cut him off. Sorge. Colts Roundtable Live later on tonight. Hashtag questions on Twitter for the guys and for head coach Frank Reich. Hashtag Colts Roundtable. That is coming up at 6 o'clock tonight on 93.5 and 107.5 FM. The Fan, JMV. Has there been an announcement of Collinsworth and Mahomes' engagement yet? The gushing Collinsworth did over him was excruciatingly painful to listen to. J-Law, while I get what you're saying here, you probably are getting somewhat a dose of what everybody in the world got every time Peyton Manning was under center in a Colts game, especially a nationally televised game. Every time. I love those days, too. I was right there. Like, I'm one of the biggest Manning guys out there. I think everybody knows that. But that's what everybody else thought anytime the Colts played, their team played the Colts during the Manning era. Very reminiscent. We got afternoon baseball going on, too. Zach Greinke got handled today, everybody. Bottom of 7, the Rays trying to stay alive and doing so right now. 9-3 over the Astros. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kiermaier, Choi, Lowe, all home runs today. Got 4 games in all in divisional series matchups. Top of 3. Did you guys, Cardinal fans, dig on Carlos Martinez and that closing of the door last night? Top of 3. Cardinals trying to stay alive against the Braves in this best of 5. 2-1 now. The Braves get a run in the top of the 3rd inning. 2-1 Cardinals, top of the 3rd. Everything else later on tonight. Dodgers and Nationals, with the Dodgers trying to close on the road with Rich Hill. 6:40 that game. NLDS game 4 there. And the Yankees trying to sweep the Twins. And this is in Minneapolis, Target Field. 8:40 for that matchup tonight. Colts win. Big Sunday night game, and everybody absolutely loved it last night. The game plan was great. The execution was great. The toughness was great. All that we did not see a week prior was right there on display last night on Sunday Night Football. I mean, there's just not a lot to complain about. I know a lot of people want to complain about Ebron with another drop. Maybe red zone efficiency could have been better. I don't think there's any question about it. But all in all, that was a pretty spectacular night for Colts fans out there. Hey, JMV, as usual, you have me laughing. I'm with you on the ridiculous penalties, though. That and the constant game stoppage is brutal. Great show. Thank you, Travis. It is brutal. It is brutal. I'm telling you, why, if you're not going to reverse something obvious, then just don't have the rule. All right, so a dude missed it in a conference final, and what do you have? You got the Saints being screwed. But don't say you're going to do something and then not do it, especially when it's obvious. Yeah, the Texans playing next weekend, or do they have a bye week too?
They're playing the Chiefs at Kansas City.
Ooh, saucy. What if they're going to be able to do game plan wise what the Colts did? And then the Colts get the Texans the week after that. Man, this all of a sudden works out great. Kind of bass backwards for what everybody would have thought. You know, everybody wanted to call it a gauge, and then that Raiders game happened, and then the gauge was off, and survival was slotted in, and now you're thinking, hey, back to the Gage thing again. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know who really is that good anywhere. Can we be honest? I mean, the Patriots, while 5-0, have played nobody. Have you seen that they're plus 121 in differential? Plus 121. I'll give you a great example of this. They're plus 121. Miami is minus 137 and didn't play this weekend. I'm assuming they're good, but they haven't played anybody. They played the Bills in Buffalo. I can't tell if the Ravens are any good. You know, the Browns, the Steelers don't look like the Steelers we thought on this Colts schedule. The AFC South, I mean, the Chiefs, the Colts just beat. Hell, the Raiders are looking better at 3-2. The Chargers aren't anywhere near so far. You know, Anthony Lynn's kind of calling everybody out there now. And in the NFC, the Eagles, the Cowboys, just kind of I mean, I think it's easier to identify the suck than it is the good here. The really good. Like, we can easily identify the suck, but the really good's kind of hard to identify because there may not be one. We'll see about the Niners unbeaten tonight at home against the Browns. And the Saints are 4-1. Maybe the most impressive stat there is the fact that they've done a lot of this work without Drew Brees and with Teddy Bridgewater. It's tough. Hey, JMV, I'd rather watch Teddy Valentine moonwalk over and over again than have the NFL tell me T.Y. Hilton committed offensive pass interference while being pulled to the ground. Matt and Avon. Yeah, he was touched, and then that was ridiculous. Was that Breeland, too? Maybe they just didn't want to call number 6 on Breeland. Or maybe they just wanted to give him a break. Said, you guys got 5 penalties here, and he's probably going to get his ass cut next week. I don't even know if it was him, though. It might have been Matthew. Was it Matthew? That's what I thought. Hey, by the way, shout out to the Tapek, Ryan Tapek, the coach of my daughter's team, for taking the girls down to Hoosier Hysteria. I heard it was fun. And no, listen, there is no truth to the rumor that my daughter was the one that set the damn fire alarm off, all right? No truth to that rumor. That could happen, though. I can't believe you cut her loose down there in the locker room. That's sketchy. You guys will probably end up finding some Kit Kat in somebody's locker. But they had a great time. Great time. All right, guys, we'll go back to the phones. Bottom of the hour, Rick Venturi joins us. I got Deep Purple tickets to give away. Where am I starting here? I'm sorry. Who's been on hold the longest? Line 4, we go Jay at 239-1070. Jay, go ahead.
How's it going, man?
Jay, I could not be better. Thank you for asking. What's happening?
Beautiful day out. Let's see. Great team win last night. Definition of team win. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this pass interference thing.
Yes.
This is probably not an original theory, but they had to do something to get all the New Orleans people off their back.
That's what I said too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree with you. Yeah, I mean, they're filing a lawsuit and everybody's crapping their pants and you completely hose New Orleans. So what do? You knee-jerk a reaction on this. Listen, I thought that the call was anticipated. I thought that the guy felt that there was a pick play that was going to happen. But once you see it on replay, if you can't overturn that, then what in the hell are you going to overturn?
They're not overturning any of them. I think they're going to institute it for 1 year, and then they're just going to say, well, that didn't work out, and they never had any intention of turning over any of them this year because Dungy and a whole bunch of people are saying if they can't turn this one over, they can't turn any of them over.
Completely agree, Jay.
Perfect example.
Completely agree. Anything else?
No, I just love seeing Brissett run the offense as a regular quarterback. He doesn't have to do what Andrew Luck did, and he's not going to do what Andrew Luck did, and he's more than capable, and we need to be fully behind him and that offensive line. I mean, just control the line of scrimmage, and great things can happen.
Thank you, Jay, for the call. When he has been comfortable, as he was again last night, the good things are happening. And it's not just about Jacoby either. This is exactly what they wanted to do. This is a consistency of what they wanted to do prior to Jacoby taking over. And this is not a holy crap, what are we going to do now? It was nothing like that. This is exactly what they wanted to do with the prior quarterback. That is a true story. Rays now up 10-3 over the Astros. I didn't think the Astros would take an ass whipping like that. They look so good so far. Hey, Cardinal fans, Carlos Martinez, how do you roll that dude out there again? I haven't seen. Are they going to? Because he's a mess. I mean, you could not have served up a meatball for Swanson last night in that situation more than he did. Well, here you go. And they had actually put Brian McCann on to get to Swanson. Oh, yeah, it's baseball. You guys probably don't care. Are you watching the baseball? Oh, I love it. I love playoff baseball. You don't really care over there, do you? I haven't
really gotten into it.
Your wheels are
as much
turning
as
in the I don't
have.
care category. I see it.
I've been way more into the NFL and college football, and I just haven't gotten into playoff baseball yet.
See, and I agree with college football was boring as hell this weekend, though. I'm sorry, what? It's really been boring the last two. What wasn't boring about it? What wasn't boring about it, though? What did you like?
The Auburn and Florida game was a great game.
Those are both just two big posing SECers right there. They're not any good, are they?
And Ohio State, Michigan
Posers.
State. It's always a good matchup, even though it got blown out.
Michigan State's a poser, too. Posers! Posers, I tell you. All right, Shane's on line 3. I'm going to get I told you so from Shane. I'm ready for it. Go ahead. What'd you tell me?
Hey, are you there?
I'm here.
You know what I mean? Okay, sir. Last year I called in twice, and I hung up on, and then I even made up a name, Dalen, and got hung up on. Then you spoke to Warren Moon. He said everything I said, and you changed the subject to Tecmo Bowl. I just knew that Brissett was that guy.
Hey, can I tell you something? And this is I will own anything I've ever said or ever did here, but I have not talked to Warren Moon since I was on the other station. That's a true story. You sure? Are you mixing it up? I have not had Warren Moon on this show, my brother. No, I haven't. And believe me, I'm the only one around here that's got the gonads big enough for a wheelbarrow. They're going to own crap, and I would own that, but I haven't talked to him. Now, maybe I can't imagine. Now, why would I hang up on you? Why would you need an alias?
Get rid of Andrew Luck and build the line.
Oh, you told me that, and you probably did do that, and I probably did say that that's ridiculous because they were building the line anyway. So I did probably say that.
And you're right.
Yeah.
But, I just seen Luck was done. I'm sorry. And he had a great year, but this is before the season had kicked off.
No, it was before the 39 touchdown season of Luck last year.
Yeah. Okay. I admit that. And I can't erase his year last year, but I just felt that way about Brissett. I thought he was ready.
Well, listen, props to you, Shane, if you had that figured out with Brissett, because I'm sure that's a small percentage that did. But props to you. And listen, when he's been comfortable so far, you could have no argument with him. And I would agree every single bit with that. I mean, no argument. And I think the offense that has been built around him, especially the plan that Reich and Sirianni has been coming up with, and the games when he's been comfortable, that's equated to being poised and mostly mistake-free and wins. So they put him in a great spot.
Thank you. And also, I know this is really petty, but I didn't want Gore here his last year. I like Mac. And the excuse was Mac's not blocking. Well, I understand that's important.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a lame duck season for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? I mean, that was just a lame duck season. That was the Brissett. That was the final season for Chuck, and that was Brissett as the starter. That was the 4-win season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crap water for a lot of reasons, man. You know? It was.
So, yeah, I'm just happy, and I like that last call, too.
Shane, you call anytime. I'm sorry about the Warren Moon thing because, honestly, I haven't had him on the show since I can remember. But I'm sure you were probably right. You probably did call about Brissett and Luck comparison, and I probably did say just that. So, yeah. But you don't have to call with an alias. I mean, don't worry about that.
No, Dalen got hung up on, too.
Did he really? No, I don't hang up on people, though. That's weird.
I mean, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I got it.
Shane, thank you for the call. You call anytime. You don't have to have an alias. I'm not going to hang up on anybody. I mean, all that does is create misery. I mean, you're not tuning in here to be miserable. I mean, sometimes you got to be critical, and every time you got to be truthful and say what you believe, but I mean, I'm not going to take this crap personal. I think the only thing I ever take personal, and this is true in social media and on Twitter, the only thing I ever take personal would be shots at, and not even credibility. I mean, you can, whatever you think my credibility is on you. But it's my integrity. That's what I take personally. The other stuff, I don't care. I think that's maybe twice in the last month and a half. And I think they've both been hashed out because what ultimately happens is, well, I wasn't taking a shot at your integrity. Yeah, I mean, integrity is a big deal to me. But the other stuff, I don't care. I mean, people can think I suck all they want. I mean, they put them on T-shirts and sell them, so hell, okay. JMV, the prior quarterback, are we not using the guy's name? No, I didn't. And here's why I do that. I switch back and forth between saying Andrew Luck and the prior quarterback just so I don't wear everybody out on Andrew Luck stuff. Because to me, this is more about this team and what they're doing now without Andrew Luck than it is about talking about Andrew Luck. So I mix in the prior quarterback, or I'll say 12. I'll say something different, not to wear folks who are sick and tired of hearing about Andrew Luck out on Andrew Luck's name, like I just did in a paragraph. So no, there's nothing against the former quarterback. I'm just kind of mixing it up a little bit. I'm mixing up my repertoire. Hey, JMV, did you see Wish TV Channel 8 had that shot of Jeffrey? Yeah, hell yeah, I saw the shot of Jeffrey Gorman. He looked like he was mad because he couldn't find a place to take a squirt. Where am I going to go? There's no bathroom, or why can I not get in? Either that or he was trying to get a ride to the bus station. One of the two. Yeah, I saw it last night. Oh, he always tries to look pissy or mad about something when he's really not. And that's what you got. Hey, Kevin's at 239-1070. Kevin, go ahead. How are you?
Hey, John, wonderful. I called in to talk about the pass interference calls, but I think you kind of covered that one. I wanted to run something by you, though.
Sure.
What do you think an auction for Rick Venturi's text phone number would end up running you?
I don't know. I don't think he wants that, man.
Well, that's the thing. It's an auction item. You end up getting that guy talking, and he doesn't stop for an hour. I'm so excited to end up hearing him at the 5 o'clock hour, but that guy is just absolutely great.
Well, I mean, listen, he does a lot of work for a reason, and he doesn't leave an I undotted or a T uncrossed, if you know what I mean. So he wants to he obviously he wants to tell you about all that he has found and studied. So that's why we have him on, man. He's awesome.
It is unbelievable the depth of knowledge that guy has. Again, he's a coach from, 10, 15 years back, and still to hold on from that is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's a great listen for me, too, man. I'm glad you like it, Kev. Anything else?
I love him. Now, I wanted to get your take on the inside run game. I mean, it seemed to be sit and wait. I was pretty excited to end up seeing that. And a second portion of that question, I wanted to see if you felt any different about the loss against Los Angeles and Oakland after seeing our performance last night.
Well, I mean, again, Kevin, thank you for the call. I still look at L.A. as just such an incredible missed opportunity that will probably rear its ugly head again at the end of the year, considering they should have won that, and because of missed kicks, they didn't. Now, I will say this. I thought this Kansas City game made up for the Raider game. But it kind of has you wondering, all right, if you guys can do that, can you do this a little bit more consistently? Because the Raider game was disappointing is, all that happened to Kansas City last night, the Colts basically had done to them the week prior. I mean, dominated both sides, both lines. Got after the quarterback, flustered the quarterback. So the Colts just kind of turned the table and did to Kansas City what the Raiders had done to them. Now, again, doing that to Kansas City was all a part of the game plan. That was all a part of exactly what they needed to do. Running the football, time of possession, making sure you do score. Now, again, the red zone efficiency needs to be better, but Adam cashed it in. It was good enough. Hey, quick shout out here. My guys John and Chris Love Heating and Air Conditioning, on board the show. Family owned since 1920. Love-HVAC.com. Love my guys. I actually had lunch a couple of weeks ago, but Love Heating and Air Conditioning on board on the show, and those are the folks you need to use right there. Just let me know if you guys need anything, especially as we're approaching the heating type of the season. You let me know. Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. JMV, one thing I really like about Reich is that he calls the offense instead of just watching the game like Pagano did. It's from Wayne. Thank you, Wayne. He's pretty prepared. I mean, listen, Pagano just didn't have much of an offensive mind, and he left that up to guys like Pep and guys like Chud. Prior to that, you didn't have to worry about it with Arians. But again, I mean, even Arians' style, that style of offense of what we saw in that first year, it's got a shelf life. Because you're going to have to protect your guy. I mean, that was good for that team. That was good for a rookie quarterback who took chances, and ran around, did some things, extended the play, and then, you extend the play so often to where it's completely unhealthy and then ultimately not good for your team. Seems like they got it going on right now. All right, quick break and we'll come back. Rick Venturi is going to join us on the other side. It is all you need to know about last night's Colts win over the Kansas City Chiefs. 19-13. Colts go to 3-2. They hit a bye week, and next up, Houston. Texans, by the way, get Kansas City coming up next weekend, which should be interesting. Quick break. Rick Venturi, other side, next.
This is the Colts Review on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Here's Casey Vallier with today's report, live from the Power Home Solar Radio Studio.
This is the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank, member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankitfirst.com. The Colts came away with a big 19-13 victory on the road on Sunday Night Football yesterday against the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to hear from former Chief Justin Houston in just a second.
As a fan, you know what it means to believe in something, to truly support and get behind it, to be committed and invested in making sure your team succeeds. At First Financial Bank, your success is our success. When you share your goals with us, our local team will help you realize all the possibilities for achieving them. We provide a personalized experience you won't find anywhere else. Because as your number one fan, we put your success first. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at bankatfirst.com.
Justin Houston spent the first 8 years of his career in Kansas City, where he piled up 78.5 sacks, and he has been a staple on their defense for years. The Colts signed him as a free agent in the offseason, and this was his first game back to Kansas City, and he finished with a sack and had a huge 4th-and-1 stop on the run for a tackle for a loss that turned out to be one of the deciding factors in the Colts' victory. He was asked if there was any extra motivation for him in this game against his former team.
I'll be lying to say if it wasn't, but that's just like your old girlfriend. You get a new girlfriend, you want to show off, huh? I'll be lying to say if I wasn't. To come here and to get a win, it means a lot to me, but to this team as well.
Justin Houston and the Colts will take that momentum into the bye week as they sit with a record of 3-2 and will take on division foe Houston at home at Lucas Oil Stadium on October 20th. And that was the Colts Review, proudly presented by First Financial Bank, member FDIC. At First Financial Bank, we go beyond banking by putting you first. Learn more at bankitfirst.com.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection of best deals. Hubler has it all.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing?
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
Hey, Johnny for Farm Credit Union, always trying to come up with ways for you to save. Thank you, Kevin, and the gang at Farm Credit Union. How about this idea? Anybody out there a home buyer? Anybody out there in the process of building a new home? You don't want to miss the Home Buyer Spotlight session because it's going to give you all the ins and the outs, educate you on the home buying and the home building experience. Sign up today. One this month, one next month as well. Home Buyer Spotlight sessions. A branch location. Ask Kevin about it today or online for more info. That's forumcu.com.
Double-digit underdogs at kickoff, the Colts gutted out an outright win in Kansas City last night. With this Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowen. Indianapolis was the 9th team this season to be spotted 10 points or more in an NFL game and became the first to win straight up. For Colts fans who had the confidence to put a few dollars on the money line, that bet paid off at 5-1 odds at kickoff. And for a game whose total of 56 was easily the highest on the Week 5 board, the 32 points that were actually scored were among the lowest. Looking ahead to tonight's Monday Night Football action, the Browns put a whooping on the Ravens in Week 4, but professional bettors aren't sold on the public's preseason darling. Coming off a bye week, the 49ers are a 5-point favorite, up from an opening number of 3. Sure enough, odds makers in Las Vegas told Bet Indiana News they have taken sharp bets on the Niners, helping the line move from 3 to 5. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
Hey, John for Connecticut, let's give you a great deal. Joe, John, and Dennis have come up with this. All right, so you want the best water possible. Check. That's what Connecticut gives you. So get the Premier Series water softener and the game-changing in-home drinking water station, or as we like to call it, the K5. Get the K5 absolutely free with the purchase of a Premier Series water softener with my friends at Connecticut. Joe, John, and Dennis, and the greatness that is Connecticut Water. The 2 locations, Northeast Side, Castleton, US 31 and Southport Road. I passed that on the way in earlier today. That's on the south side, a little north of Greenwood, south side of Indianapolis. Online for all your info right now on great deals and more. That's ConnecticutIndy.com.
You know what makes every diamond unique and special are its 4 C's: cut, clarity, color, and carat weight. But do you know what makes Diamonds Direct special and unique? It's our own 4 C's. The first C, concept. Diamonds Direct has revolutionized jewelry shopping by eliminating middleman markups and giving you direct access to the world's finest diamonds straight from the diamond cutters. The second C, choice. Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection of precious diamonds is unparalleled, and with over 4,000 designer settings to choose from, you are empowered to make a decision that works for your style and taste. The third C, confidence. With a nationwide price guarantee, free lifetime warranty, our unique 110% diamond upgrade policy, and our no-pressure, no-risk environment, you have total peace of mind. And the fourth C, community. Every year we partner with local charities and nonprofits with significant donations of time, money, and jewelry to make this a better place for everyone. Diamonds Direct, as unique, special, and rare as every diamond in our showcase. Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Experience football, fans, and fun at the Children's Museum in the new indoor exhibit, First and Goal. Learn about Indiana's Super Bowl winning team, the Indianapolis Colts. Run the 10-yard dash and compete against the speed of Colts players. Kick a real football and score a virtual field goal. Cut loose in an end zone touchdown dance. Train like the pros in combine drills led by a real Colts player. Celebrate Indiana's football traditions at First and Goal at the Children's Museum. Open now.
Dan Doggage for Family Leisure. It's the Factory Direct Pool Table Sale going on now. They've received truckloads of pool tables from multiple manufacturers. Factory Direct pricing on all the best brands. Save 20, 30, even 50% slate pool tables starting at $12.99 installed. With hundreds of in-stock pool tables to choose from, you can buy it today, enjoy it tomorrow. Huge savings on wall racks, pub tables, bars and bar stools, and other game room items as well. Don't miss out. Factory Direct Pool Sale going on right now at Family Leisure.
Family and fun come together. Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell? So. Are we gonna win?
Not if you play like a cheer. Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One Score, September 2019.
Hey, it's Chuck Jones from Bill Estes Chevrolet, and I'm here with TK. So excited about the football season with some hot new deals.
Wait, football season's almost over.
Not that football, TK. I'm talking about the real football. Just like these real deals. Up to $4,000 more for your trade and Silverados from $199 a month.
My football is real, but those deals sound pretty real too.
Find new roads to Bill Estes Chevy or online at BillEstesChevy.com.
Just ask for the real football deal.
He means the TK deal.
At Twin Peaks, fans love a barrel-aged bourbon poured over a handmade ice ball or one of their classic whiskey cocktails like the Sazerac or the Tennessee Stud. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's all things Colts with former coach Rick Venturi. The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Colts Round Table live tonight at 6 o'clock. That's going to be a Matt Taylor, Frank Wright, Jim Sorgi, Joe Wright's production, 6 o'clock tonight. Dodgers, Nats after them. The Dodgers trying to close out the Nats in D.C. A little update here for you, too. Bottom of 8, the Rays trying to stay alive and doing a good job of it. 10-3, they are up on the Astros, running in 3 2/3. Zach Greinke from the game, the Astros right-hander, and Marcell Ozuna just went solo yak. Cardinals up 3-1, bottom of 4. The Braves trying to close out St. Louis this afternoon in St. Louis, but the Cardinals a 3-1 advantage. I mentioned Dodgers Nationals tonight. Yankees Twins as the Twins try to stay alive in their best of 5 with the New York Yankees in New York up 2-0. Meantime, Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline brought to you by the District Tap. He is our guy, Rick Venturi. That was really a top-to-bottom impressive performance put on by Frank Reich's Colts last night.
Oh, my God. It was absolutely tremendous. You know, they got off the mat from last week, put forth one of the great efforts, not only of recent time, probably in Colts history. I know you can try to say this is a bigger game. Obviously, a Super Bowl, the win over the Patriots in that AFC Championship. I mean, those moments are for the ages. But I have to think that last night ranks with, one of the all-time wins in regular season history. And I think because of the perception of the game going in, particularly the media, the pundits, basically they gave the Colts no chance. We talked on the pregame. I did not feel that way. I did not feel that way at all. And I don't think Frank felt that way. He said that, no was in shock in the locker room. I'm not sure if there wasn't a little shock, but, particularly the way they handled the Chiefs. I think, victory, I always thought there was a formula there. But the way they handled them and really absolutely earned the game in every facet. We talked on the pregame, and I talked all week. I thought the Chiefs could be beat, and because whenever, there's a couple things involved. One, this was a perfect psychological spot for the Colts. I think they saw, a little bit different Frank Reich and staff during the week. I think he didn't, he's not going to call anybody out publicly, but I think there was a lot of calling out internally. I think they were mad. They were angry, whoever they were going to play. And I said to you last week, there's nothing better. There's no better remedy than after a clunker to have a primetime game against a perceived great opponent on a big stage, and we had it all. I mean, Sunday night now is pro football night. It used to be Monday night, but now it's Sunday night. You know, the Chiefs with Mahomes so highly visible in Arrowhead. So I think we had a psychological, certainly, advantage going in. I knew it would be there. I knew we would play hard. And then I think the reality of the upset is the Chiefs with their defense, which is historically bad against the run, and it basically they're never going to be safe in a game. They are never going to be safe in a game because what happened can happen to them, and it can happen some more in that when you can't stop the run and you just can't stop basic runs, you run the risk of getting ball controlled and costing you a game. Now, we did beyond that, but, if you remember, the very first thing I said last week on last Monday was we had to control the clock. We had to turn the tables on what they did in January. In January, they held it 39 minutes, which was a product of both our offense and defense. Last night, we held the ball 37 minutes and 15 seconds, which, was tremendous. It was part offense, part defense. It was a little bit of everything. But the fact that we could hold it for 37-15, the fact that we could get 180 rushing and, and 45 rushes, which tells you something about Frank. Frank is not interested in his image or, trying to be fashionable. He is going to do whatever it takes to win. I think in the first 12 minutes, I think I texted you, I felt good about the game because, one, we drove down for 7 and drove it right through them. And 2, even though they moved the ball, we held them to 3. And I knew that threes were going to be so important. But I talked about this all week, and I related it to myself back in 2000 against the greatest show on turf. We used to say to our team, if you can, ball control, steal possessions, get a turnover, and you can hold this team to 10 possessions instead of 13, you win. If they get 13 possessions, they probably win. And basically, at the end of the day, they had 10 possessions, which was awesome. We control the ball with 25 first down. I thought the passing game was efficient. I thought Jacoby made the one error a little bit like last week. Yeah. He tends to get a real quick look. He read cover 2. He just assumed that Matthew would continue to go inside with the seam, and he threw a seam up there, and he didn't kind of confirm the read. But we recovered from that, and after that, he didn't make many mistakes. The other thing that he does a really good job of is he's strong, and he's athlete enough that he can move the ball. He can give you efficient scrambles that can keep drives alive, but it's not in a spectacular fashion. So, I thought that was absolutely tremendous. Again, 45 rushes for 180, but 37 minutes and 15 seconds. That was definitely a realistic formula to win. And then, right with it, I don't give one or the other because, without either, you're probably not going to win. I thought that our defense came out in a totally different look. I mean, and they may not want to say it, but they came out, and for the first time in 23 games since they've been here, they came out and got in your face in the coverage. I think the first 10 plays, 8 of them were man-to-man. They got up and they pressed. They played man-to-man coverage. They stifled receivers. They did that. And even when they played cover 2 early in the game as a changeup, they got up and they jammed people. They played like a 2 jam rather than that soft stuff they've been playing for so long. But the man-to-man coverage, they challenged those secondary kids, and they really played their ass off. And by doing that, basically it made the windows tighter, and it bought time for the rush. And you could just see, as they got going, he got out and made one big play. He got out on the edge and made that 38-yard touchdown pass. But after that, it was a lot of 3 and outs. As a matter of fact, they did not get another touchdown in the last 44 minutes of that game. And again, this was a different, and this is why I've said all along, is I thought that the scheme was a bigger issue than the injuries, than the guys that were out. I really did. And when you see when you study that game yesterday, that was a Colt outfit that I had not seen schematically really since they've been here, and they did a terrific job with it. No question about it. I mean, basically to hold them down like that, tremendous. I think the other thing that happened, because they played a lot of what I call cover one hole, you could see it, but I'll explain what happens. Cover one hole means that you're playing tough press man-to-man on everybody, but you have a free safety, so the post is covered, the post is closed, and then you have a guy that sits in there low, intermediate, either coming from one of the safeties or one of the linebackers. But you always have a hole player in there to help. And what that allowed you to do is do the second thing that I said was really important, was no big plays, and then number two, have a plan for Kelsey. Well, basically, this was a little bit different plan than we've ever done, in that we manned him up, and it didn't matter who had him. I mean, from Taylor to Desir, Kyrie Willis, Quincy Wilson, even Moore had him at times, but there always was a helper inside, and we pressed him. And the beauty of that was he only had 4 catches. It was 70 yards, but 4 catches, no touchdowns. And the important thing, it was 4 catches out of 10 targets, which means that basically they did try to go to him. And even when he caught the ball, with one exception on a scramble, we were all over him because we played tight man, which I've been talking about for a long time. We got after them. We forced it. We stripped that ball early. I mean, they called them drops, but we had our hands in there on them. And what I was impressed with for the first time in 23 games is we were contesting throws. There was nothing, that was just wide open. The only time that ever happened is when he scrambled and extended plays a little bit. But he had to do that and, I thought that was really, really good. And then in the end, a few things really stood out. In the end, the 2 red zone stops were critical. The early one for 3 and the last one for 3. I mean, that's potential 21 points if you don't get those stops. You play a team like this, they're going to make yards in between the 20s, but you got to stop them in there. And then I just thought our defensive confidence after that first quarter, we got a couple 3-and-outs, and, man, I'm telling you what, it just built. Like I said, 44 minutes without a TD, hold them to 13. I thought 2 huge turnovers, and the game changer there's 2 game changers. One was a game turner, one was a game saver. The game turner is Odom's strip. I mean, that's a 25-yard gain. They're going to hit a screen pass. They're going to find something they want. The game is tied. They're going to get a big game, and Odom comes out of there and punches that ball out, which just a tremendous play. That's all Odom right there because, they had us. And then, of course, I think at the end of the game, the 4th and 1 was a tremendous play in there, that 4th and 1 that we stopped them. And we had the play stopped, and they didn't secure the edge on Houston, so he got it in the backfield. But even if they block him, I don't think they're going to make it. I think we were tough. I think Willis was right there. That's the other thing I want to say about Odom, and this is something that probably may be forgotten, but on that play previous to the 4th and 1, it was 3rd and 28, and they throw a ball and they run for 27, and Odom comes up and makes a ferocious tackle to make it 4th and 1. I'm not sure Hooker makes that tackle. I'll be honest with you.
Well, and I was going to say this. I think those guys deserve to play. I think those guys deserve snaps after this.
Listen, I tell you what, if you really look at total football players, not just interceptors, and a lot of us who know have watched those guys, watched Odom, have watched those guys, him and Willis develop. I mean, they are players. And that was that big tackle right there created the 4th and 1. And so, and I consider 4th and 1 a turnover, and obviously the punch out was, and then the other thing, it was the 4 sacks. There's no question that our defensive line played with emotion. But I've been saying this for weeks. The coverage and the rush go hand in hand. We did do some blitzes. I thought there were three magnificent plays individually in the game that made the difference. I thought Odom's strip, number 1. I think without that play, it could be different. I think the blitz sack by Kenny Moore, I think that changed the game because it really shook Mahomes. You can see it on television. All of a sudden, those bright eyes, those big light eyes, all of a sudden they looked a little different. And there was a sequence there after Kenny's sack that next, I think 2 plays later, Autry hits him right down the sternum and just shakes him up. And then Toure, comes in there and just messes that ankle up because he just turns everybody down. And I thought Mahomes walked out of there and he knew it was going to be a long day. And I thought he looked worn out really after that. And, of course, the 4th and 1 to stop it. But, I mean, those were some great things, 4 sacks, no question about it. And then obviously Vinny was back. Those early season issues were behind him. He went to 4 for 4. We had good coverage. Even the new kid, the receiver that we just brought back, that made a really good tackle. I mean, we were wired in there. There was no question about it. And I think because in that first 12 minutes we had that 7-3 win. I mean, we were ahead 7-3. But I think more importantly, we established what we thought we could do was ball control, and we could hold them to 3. Now, I think as the game went on, we played better defense because with that tight man-to-man coverage, and there were no quick throwing lanes to go, and we started to squeeze him better, their offensive line began to show its warts. They were always better collectively than individually, and we started to eat them up. Houston and Autry. And Houston and Autry looked like they did in training camp. But, the coverage helped because they didn't have free access into the secondary. It's so different. It's just amazing to me. I was thrilled to death to watch the game. I thought I was seeing it during the game, but breaking down the tape. And I kind of said to myself, a couple thoughts was that, number one, this morning I've been thinking about it all day. You know what? To quote the great Denny Green, after that game, I just kind of said to myself, we really were who we thought we were. I think you and myself and Joe and all the guys that were there every day in the summer and watched this team play, and then when we realized it was going to be Jacoby and we were going to have a great offensive line and our runner has become elite, I think we all felt like that this was the kind of game, this would be kind of the formula for us winning. But we haven't played good enough defense until last night to prove it. I mean, offensively we have, and even in our loss to Oakland, we got 24, but we just haven't held up the defensive end. And I think that was the biggest surprise, going in, because we felt in training camp that we would be a tremendous defense up front. We were playing a lot of man in training camp and then got away from it, and we got back to it. And then offensively, obviously I've said this from the beginning, best left side in football. When in doubt, hand the ball to Mac on the left side and just keep pounding. And actually, they pound him so much that in the fourth quarter, we actually were able to run the power to the right some. But Mac has a vision. Boy, he has vision, and he knows how to find it. The other thing that he's really developed, and he's developed this since he's been here, is that pick and glide, almost a little bit like Le'Veon Bell, not quite to that extreme, but he really has learned to pick and patient and take it up in there. I mean, he was just tremendous. So, yeah, it was I've never enjoyed a loss of sleep more than I did last night. I'll tell you one thing. That was just a fun game. Again, those guys from, like you said, from top to bottom, they are totally deserving. This was no fluke. They didn't need a lot of breaks. They made their own breaks. They really and truly did. So, great win. Great to go into the bye week and, clear your head. Hopefully that is who we are, because we'll have another tough one coming up, in 2 weeks with the Texans. They were magnificent yesterday. So, just a great night on the biggest stage in football.
That's Rick Venturi right there, Rick. We'll take a break and come back, put you on hold. We'll have other things to talk about, including the loss of Toure and how that's going to affect this team moving forward as well. Rick Venturi, segment you got to hear, continues next.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you got to do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
With mortgage rates in the 2s, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Golden Oak Lending has lowered mortgage rates to 2.875.
And that's a fixed rate. This is James Hawkins. If you're struggling with credit card debt, we can help you pay it off at a low rate.
At 2.875, now's the time to fix the house, finish the basement. You have so many choices.
We're easy to work with, and we'll give you a free mortgage checkup right over the phone, so you can find out exactly how much you can save. Or apply online at goldenoaklending.com with our fast Zipline mortgage.
Call our Indy office at 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Our experts will walk you through it all, and if we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, FHA 15-year fixed, APR 3.915, 20% equity with approved credit. Regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Hey, John here for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com if you want your real growing hair again. PRP, multi-knit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, all measures you can take to get that real growing hair again with PAI. Darren Andrews for the private consultation, 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing?
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
All right, so you're heading out on fall break. Maybe you're driving someplace. Make sure your car, truck, or van is ready to go with a visit to CarX. Whether we're talking about tires or the place for brakes, which they are and they have been absolutely forever. Make sure you go to the Joe Childers Run CarX locations in central Indiana, because if you're going on fall break, the last thing you want to have to deal with is a vehicle breakdown. You got all the technicians that are ready, willing, and able to help you. I'm telling you, great service, people you can count on, pricing you can trust, and the overall success of getting your car, truck, or van running the way that it should be. Tell them I sent you to CarX today.
Steve Berry from the Sports Plus Network here, previewing tonight's big game out in San Francisco between the Browns and the 49ers. What do we like about tonight's matchup, Steve?
Well, Cleveland coming into San Fran laying 4. The total's 46.5. Cleveland coming in at 2-2, but I think they're a better team than that record. San Fran coming in at 3-0. Cleveland coming off that lambasting of Baltimore, 40-25. San Fran coming off the beating of Pittsburgh, 24-20. Guys, if you haven't called us before, do yourself and your wallet a huge favor. The call tonight is free. The winner is free. Your profits are free. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. Guys, we'll tell you who's going to win. We'll tell you why they're going to win. It's amazing how easy winning can be when you have the right information sources, which we do. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. Cleveland, San Francisco winner at no charge from Sports Plus Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. All these gimmicks like 0% transfer, 10% off today's purchase are nothing more than traps to keep you further in debt. What if I told you the solution to all your problems was only 5 minutes away? Your home has gained equity at the fastest pace in over a decade. Put that new equity to work and pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's Big Joe. Right now, for every window you buy, you get the next one free. No limits and 0% financing for 36 months. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Stop in Portillo's today and get obsessed with delicious Chicago-style hot dogs, homemade Italian beef sandwiches, chocolate cake, and so much more in Indianapolis, Fishers, and Avon. Find out for yourself. Portillo's. Get to know us. Get to love us. Get obsessed.
Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. Pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
It's all things Colts with former coach Rick Venturi. The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, well, quick one here. I'm going to get to Rick coming up at the top of the hour here. Let's get right with the radio clock. Give you a quick update. The Rays stay alive in the ALDS with the Astros 10-3, the final in Game 3. Charlie Morton the win, Zach Greinke the loss, so they move to a game number 4 as the Rays win today. The Cardinals trying to stay alive. They are now down 4-3. The Braves mount a rally, top of the 5th inning, still batting. Braves 4, Cardinals 3, as they just chased Hudson in that game. Dodgers-Nationals later on tonight as the Dodgers try to close out the Nats in game number 4. And Game 3, as the Twins try to stay alive against the Yankees in Minneapolis tonight at Target Field at 8:40. All right, quick break. We'll come back. All you need to know with Rick Venturi about last night's win over the Chiefs, plus your calls if you want to talk to Rick at 239-1070. Next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save at Big O Tires with up to $150 off a set of 4 Big O brand tires now through October 13th. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Double-digit underdogs at kickoff, the Colts gutted out an outright win in Kansas City last night. With this Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowman. Indianapolis was the 9th team this season to be spotted 10 points or more in an NFL game and became the first to win straight up. For Colts fans who had the confidence to put a few dollars on the money line, that bet paid off at 5-1 odds at kickoff. And for a game whose total of 56 was easily the highest on the Week 5 board, the 32 points that were actually scored were among the lowest. Looking ahead to tonight's Monday Night Football action, the Browns put a whooping on the Ravens in Week 4, but professional bettors aren't sold on the public's preseason darling. Coming off a bye week, the 49ers are a 5-point favorite, up from an opening number of 3. Sure enough, odds makers in Las Vegas told Bet Indiana News they have taken sharp bets on the Niners, helping the line move from 3 to 5. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
John for PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com, your real growing hair again, and I mean your real growing hair again, with Darren Andrews at PAI, 888-724-5129, just like mine, real growing hair again with PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com today.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
Chad and Tyler Peterman.
Before Old Man Winter arrives, now's the time to call Peterman for our $59 preseason furnace tune-up.
It's a great way to make sure your home stays comfortable in cold weather.
And at just $59, our furnace tune-up is a smart investment for your peace of mind.
But don't delay. Winter will be here sooner than you think.
Schedule your $59 preseason tune-up today.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
Attention men. It's a proven fact that a lack of intimacy in a relationship can hurt self-esteem and lead to emotional detachment. Let the Indianapolis Men's Clinic help you create the relationship you have always wanted and put an end to ED and PE with one visit. Erectile dysfunction and premature issues are simple to eliminate with the right treatments and the providers that understand how they work. The doctors at Indianapolis Men's Clinic offer the latest and available treatments with same-day solutions for erectile and premature issues. You can increase ability and stamina in just one visit. Most men think the little blue pills or testosterone are the only options. Not true. Call 999-9000 to meet with a licensed medical providers no matter what age you are. And even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or have had your prostate removed, they can help you too. 999-9000. 999-9000 or go to indymensclinic.com. That number again, 999-9000.
Hey.
Hey, Bench, what are you doing?
I'm rubbing my Blue Emu on.
Well, you ready to go fishing?
Fishing?
You said we were going fishing this morning.
I have 10 Gold Glove awards.
Oh, here we go again.
Johnny Bench doesn't go fishing.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny Bench goes catching. Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Available at nationwide retailers and Amazon.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. Your Colts tickets are waiting. Be there October 20th for the divisional matchup against the Texans. Get your tickets today at Colts.com/tickets. It's all things Colts with former coach Rick Venturi. The Ride with JMV, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Thank you for joining us. You guys have been great today. We'll do some of your calls with Rick in a second if you guys dig on that. 239-1070 if you have a question for Rick. He shall taketh them coming up in a moment. Meantime, back to Rick. Sorry for the little bit of wait, but we got a lot of spots here we got to run in there for you. Make sure we get you back on time. Hey, I did want to mention this to you. I felt that, to me, the signature moment of the game, and it was actually twice, but the signature moment of the game that really helped, I thought, lean the outcome to the Colts was Toure and slashing the tire, for lack of a better description, of Patrick Mahomes, and doing it the first time, getting in there and getting him down to the ground, but then the second time pushing the old lineman back into his ankle. And I mean, Mahomes, after the first time, just wasn't the same. He was not the same.
No, there's no question about it. I said that three-play sequence, the sack by Kenny surprised him. Autry then hit him on an incompletion, hit him right down the sternum, which he got up a little groggy, and then the Toure thing on the ankle, it was like a hat trick that really, to me, wore his ass out mentally. I just saw a difference in the eye control after that. Not that he didn't keep playing hard, because he did right to the end, but you could just sense, and you're right, those moments have tremendous impact on the game. There's no question about it. So, yeah, it's tough. I think Toure has really come on this year. It's really a shame with the injury. The kid has really grown. I thought he would. He didn't have a great background. He had ability when Chris drafted him to be a DPR, but he's gone beyond that, and he was really starting to show it. So, we have to make up for that a little bit.
I was thinking about that. How do they make up for that a little bit?
Okay, to me, it's three things now, okay? There's three things that I'll put on my defensive coordinator hat. The first thing you do now is you think first of all, it puts more emphasis on sticky coverage. The stickier the coverage, John, the quicker you shut it down. I mean, if you add the sacks and the scrambles, do you realize that if you add those, that we actually had Mahomes at 50% or less? Okay, now we've been averaging 75 to 85% completions. Yesterday, we have Mahomes with tough man-to-man coverage and disruptive zones, not sit zones. All of a sudden, he's at 50%. That's a different football team, and that will make our rush that much better. Now, there's three things you do with the loss of Toure. One, I think you just get more and more creative with Houston and Autry. I mean, you find spots on second and long, third and long. You find matchups that you can win. For instance, the Texans have a rookie at right tackle. They got a rookie at left guard. So that's obviously the kind of matchup that you're looking for. When I study them more than that, there'll be more. But there's matchups per week that you want. Irving honestly could not handle Houston. We know that. We saw that. I wasn't sure of it, but it was obvious in the game. Number two, it's very important. I think this would be just a normal thinking. Very, very important to get Tyquan Lewis back. And between him and Banago, you got to get the other edge rusher. You've got to get the one thing that Toure brought us more than anybody on our team is tremendous speed off the edge. Toure is the one guy, even more than Houston, that can literally run the edge. We don't have that now. Now, Lewis has some of it. Banagu has some of it. But between the two of them, they got to give you some of that. Now, the third thing that I would think about, and this is just me because I think scheme immediately, is I would now think about possibly running a little bit more 3-2. And now that Okereke has become a player that you can count on a little bit, particularly in the passing aspect of it, I would think about when you get Leonard back is running a little bit of 3-2 dime where one of those guys can be the blitzer or the fourth rusher, and you give teams a lot of problems. I mean, Leonard had 7 sacks a year ago, and Okereke knew how to get to the quarterback at Stanford. So, I think there's, creativity involved. Obviously, if you get Lewis and Banigou back, you might pick up something on the edge. But, you do have the loss, and I do think you have to make up for it. But I think maybe the most overriding thing is continue to learn from this game and don't go back. Play a lot of sticky coverage and make sure that quarterback has to hold the ball.
So Rick Venturi on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Nick Moore has a question via Twitter, Rick. He wants to know about Bobby Okereke and what he thought about his play last night.
Well, this was a really good game for him. This was the best he played. Obviously, now he's got a couple games under his belt. But this is the kind of game that he will really, I think, excel in. He's a much better guy in the loose play part of the game, the passing game, the pass defense, that kind of stuff, running, than he is when they run right at him. Kansas City basically didn't come in to run. I mean, I know we did a great job of holding 36 yards, but they just weren't going to run. They were going to try to scorch us with the pass. They were going to try to run us out of the gym with the passing game, and it didn't work for them because we changed gears on them. But I thought he did a really good job in coverage. I thought one of the big plays of the game, one of the things I said be alert for in my blueprint was running backs deep on the linebacker. Early in the game when we stopped them in the red zone, they tried to get Damian Williams on him one-on-one down the seam, and I thought Okereke did a terrific job of running with him. So, he's a lot like Leonard. They're better space players than right in the briar patch. And so, I think in that regard, it relates to what I said before. I think there's times that you might be able to use one or the other and conceal it as the fourth rusher.
Rick Venturi via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I got a couple more questions, but you want to take a call or two right now?
Whatever you think, yeah.
Rick Venturi with you at 239-1070, and Tim has a question for Rick. Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, thanks, JMV. Coach, good to be on with you. I had a question about Deion Kane, how you think he played, and how we can get him more involved in the offense, because I think he's a great ball player.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think the sky is the limit. I think the biggest thing with him, like a lot of young receivers, Tim, is the most important thing is for him to get better quickly on releases. Press coverage has begun to hurt us a little bit in the last 3 weeks. It hurt us at times, particularly with the blitz Sunday. Just remember, though, we did, even though it was a PI, it was a huge play to Kane on the post early. That was a big play. We ran a play action. He got on top of Ward, and then Breland came over and interfered. But that was really, with that kind of speed that he has, that was like a 40-yard gain. So, I think the sky's the limit for both Kane and Campbell. It's really just a matter of us really accelerating their development, and I think a lot of it is just learning how to beat press coverage.
So Rick Venturi with us, 239-1070. Questions for Rick and Bill is up next. Bill, you're with Rick. Go ahead.
Hey, Joe, or Johnny, how you doing?
Great, Bill. What's happening?
Hey, I got a question for Rick.
Yep.
I'm visually impaired. Describe Marlon Mack to me height-wise. We've had Marshall, Edrin, Frankie, the guy that you know is going to go in the Hall of Fame. I was listening to, remember Michael Grady that used to be with all of us? He's on ESPN. And Andy Reid was asked the question, how do you stop Michael Grady or stop Marlon Mack? You don't stop him. But describe him height-wise. It just seems like when he lowers his shoulder pads, you ain't going to stop him. Thanks for taking my call. I'll hang up and listen.
Absolutely. And I think that, I said this 2 weeks ago, that he has developed now he is approaching elite status in the league. And I think probably last night's, big stage kind of presented him to the world. I think we know in Indianapolis where he's going. I love him. I've said this many times. I loved it when Chris was able to nab him on the 4th round out of South Florida. He has tremendous explosiveness. Even as a rookie, he showed us the ability to bounce and to go. But because of the offense he played in college and what he did for us early, most of it was like outside. He was a bounce and go runner. Everything was outside. He was kind of, I've said this before, like a home run hitter, home run or 4-yard loss. What Tom Rathman and him have done together is he has now learned, and this is a little bit different, is that patience, but not patience necessarily to get outside, but patience to go inside. And actually, he's kind of funny. He reminds me of Dickerson in a way. They're not the same style back, but I will say in this regard, Dickerson, when you saw him in street clothes, never looked big. He looked like he's right out of a GQ. You look at Mack, he just doesn't look all that big, but once he puts that pads on, that guy is big, and he's big and explosive. But what he's really done is he's really learned how to run. And what he's really learned how to do is trust his offensive line, and he's playing behind the best in football. I'll argue with anybody, particularly on the running game. They're the best in football, and the left side is absolutely the best. And he's learned how to be patient behind him. That pick and glide has really developed since he's been here. He was always like a one-cut and explode guy. This thing is all developed. And so, when you can run the ball 45 times in a championship-type game, man, that is saying something. And I got to take my hat off to the other guys. I thought Wilkins and Hines came in and did their role. Those guys are role players. And they came in and spotted him, and Wilkins did what he does. It's tough inside, smash it. He had the 18-yard run that got it down to the 1. He comes in, he's a little bit different, a little bit of a one-cut north and south guy. And then Hines had a couple terrific plays, the one yak after the catch and a couple in the passing game when the one he got out of bounds. I mean, those guys came in and supplemented. But Mack is playing at a super, super high level. And, when he and Hilton are there, there is no question the offense takes on, not that the offense itself changes, but from a defensive perspective, if I'm a defensive coordinator and Mack and Hilton are in the game, I'm looking at two ambient guys. It's a whole different world.
All right, maybe a couple of issues that we do need to discuss out of what was an incredibly positive Sunday night. One is, and I want your thoughts on this, where Eric Ebron is right now because he had another drop last night, and then the inefficiency in the red zone. They got points, but they didn't go in for 7. So a couple of negatives that maybe deserve explanation by you right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, Ebron he's got to get into stride and get going. I think he had a little bit of a hangover from that great year. He went from bust to Pro Bowl, and legitimately so. I mean, he had a terrific year for us. He had 13 touchdowns, 10 in the red zone. He was a huge factor in that comeback season last year. But he gets to where, he begins to brand himself, a lot of talk and stuff like that. Just play. Just continue to play, and he'll have his moments because there's going to be teams where the tight end obviously becomes the big factor. He's got to just keep his nose to the grindstone. Don't worry about anything but playing. Just be who you can be, and Ebron will give us what we need down the stretch. And we will need him because Jack's going to give you that blue-collar stuff. He's going to give you the drive routes, the flat routes. He's going to catch a ball and get 4 or 5, maybe 8. He's going to put both hands on the ball and dive for 7, and that's very important. But Ebron is that guy that has to come back to us and give us that red zone efficiency. Now, we struggled on a couple things in this game, and they did relate to the red zone. I think we've got to get better at press coverage. We've gotten pressed now 3 games in a row, and there are times that it has hurt us, and it got Kansas City off a few times on 3rd down, when they couldn't get off any other way. The other thing that we're having a little bit of problem with, and Spagnuolo did this, and I knew he would, when that ball gets down around the 20, he's going to bring those zero blitzes, which almost no one else uses anymore. It's kind of old school, and they hurt us with that. So, it's very important that we get that stuff straightened out. I think the important thing is, to be able – the biggest thing that we lack right now, and this is what I think Funchess was going to give us, and I don't know if Kane can give it to us, who can give it to us. Ebron can in some respects if we utilize them, is we need that big – you got to have that fade game in the red zone. You have to have that fade slant game. We're struggling with that a little bit. Teams tend to buckle up a little bit on that running game. You run into, now instead of running into 7 or 8 men, you're running into 9 men. So, I think, those are the things. You're exactly right. The 1 for 5 kept it close for, that's the only thing really that kept it close for Kansas City, or it would have been much, much worse. So, that is something we have to address. We were terrific at it last year. And we have to pull it together here.
Rick, Kansas City's defense, they fired everybody last year, and it looks much worse this year.
Oh, I think it's much worse. And then, when Hitchens goes out and Jones goes out, I mean, they have no chance. I mean, then they're playing with almost 11 mullets out there. I was shocked at Breeland last night. I thought Breeland was actually one of their bright spots. And obviously he was a holding machine. I mean, absolute machine against us, starting from the very beginning with that bump interference and then the holes all day long. Jones never was able to get going. Like I said, Hitchens was their tackling guy. Once they lost 2 guys, I mean, it was just almost unbelievable. It looked sometimes, and I credit our offensive line. I take nothing away from them, but it looked sometimes, that front 7 looked like a big Crowder sled that you just hit and drive and they don't move and they can't get off. That's what it looked like to me. And I knew going in, I said that to you yesterday, you and Joe, before the game, that Kansas City is vulnerable to a team that can run it, and that's why they're never going to be safe. They can, the kid can have a great game, and right now they're receiver depleted. When they get Watkins back, and they get Tyreek Hill, they're going to be a little bit better. But when you have a defense that you can't count on and can't stop a basic run, you can't be considered a Super Bowl team, regardless of their 4-0 going in.
I tell you what, the poise stuck out too for the offense and Brissett, because normally in those circumstances on a Sunday night, you got a 4-0 team, whether they have a lead or they're trying to come back and regain the lead. You have some pre-snap situations that lead to penalties, and the Colts didn't.
Well, the Colts were a totally different team than they were. Now, they had those against the Raiders. They had those self-destruct things versus the Raiders. Last night, concentration was at an all-time high. And, you can be ready for a game, and then you can be super ready for a game. Even though you think you're ready sometimes, there's a razor's edge that you reach. I think the poise parts of it comes right from the top. I think that is something that Frank has brought here. He's unruffled. He's on that play. Things are happening around him. He's thinking a step ahead, whether it's the analytic part of it or just his gut. He's very comfortable calling that game. His eyes are on that play chart all the time. And I just think that his calmness, and it's a quiet but tough calmness. I think that is reflective of the rest of the team, and I think Jacoby has that. Jacoby is not a panic guy. He's never what I call frenetic. He still seems to make there's like one head scratcher a game that he makes. Like, why did you do that all of a sudden, like the one pick? But overall, he has been really, really consistent. He's been very efficient with the ball, very efficient. And I think what you forget is those little 5-yard gains that he makes. Then he runs in for the touchdown in the red zone. I mean, he gets everything out of his athleticism, but he never panics. You always see kind of that reflection of Frank. So, yeah, I don't worry about that. The biggest key to me, I think our offense has been what we've wanted them to be, really, for 5 weeks at 3-2. I think if our defense can learn from this, and this can be like the springboard because we're coming up with a lot of games you're going to be able to win, a ton of games you're going to be able to win, coming up just like last year as you look at the middle part of the schedule, is can our defense continue to find this level that they played at? If they can, we're going to be a tough out all the way.
Michael at 239-1070 for Rick. Michael, go ahead. What you got?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Coach, just a quick question. What's the legal rule to hit a receiver off the line? Is it 5 yards? That's my first question, and I'll prompt my going forward.
Yeah, Michael, you have 5 yards. You can contact that guy as long as you're not holding. Now, you can't physically hold because that's a different penalty. But in terms of the bump and run, and I always called it a run and bump, is basically it isn't from where he's lined up. It's 5 yards on the line of scrimmage. So, you can go on ahead and jam him. And when you do that, and we did such a much better job, this was pleasant for me to watch, is all of a sudden when those receivers are disrupted and they can't get right up into your backfield, that means that quarterback is not on rhythm. And, when you're like me and you study this, you realize how important it is for disruption, bump and run, how the coverage and the rush is so interchangeable.
Yeah, so where I was going with that is if you watch teams like Buffalo and Jim Johnson with Philadelphia, they have corners that seem like they do that on the line with the DBs, and they blitz a lot more. So I'm trying to figure out why more teams don't do that, especially when they play teams, with volatile quarterbacks like Brady. No one can seem to get the answer. If you blitz more, that seems like it's a major disruption. Buffalo did it against New England. We did a little bit more. Philly does it 50% of the time. So why don't we see more of that? And, when teams get into trying to solve the Patriots mystery, they sit back 10 yards off. Brady throws 10 yards, 5 yards, or 5 times on the field, and then they score. So trying to figure out the logic, and I don't know. It's confusing.
Well, first of all, I think people overreact to what they have or don't have in the secondary. I thought coming out of training camp myself, watching every day and all the man-to-man drills, I thought our secondary, and they played a lot in practice, I thought our secondary would be absolutely just fine playing a ton of man-to-man coverage, and we would be a lot better. But, a lot of teams, are a little bit afraid of that. And what's happened over the years is blitzing has become what they call what is now referred to as fire zone coverage. In other words, you blitz 5, but instead of playing man-to-man like the old days, what you do is you blitz 5 and you play 3 deep, 3 under. So, you're blitzing, but you're not really disrupting the receiver. So, the quarterback still is not as pressured as when you're man-to-man. Now, the irony of this, the guy that's won more than anybody in the history of the game at New England went out and got Gilmore and then other cover corners, and he plays more man-to-man than anybody in the league. And when they blitz, they do play man-to-man with it. And I think if we will continue to do that and just, you can mix. We did some good 5-man rushes with it. And of course, you're preaching to the choir here because I learned pro football in a league way back when everything was a man-to-man derivative and combinations. And as bad as the Chiefs' defense was when they were successful, it was with pressure and man-to-man coverage.
So Rick Venturi on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Before I let you go, let's look around because we got a week now because of the bye week. You get Deshaun Watson and Houston next, but first, Houston has a date at Arrowhead with Kansas City next weekend. Your thoughts on what we have seen from the Texans, especially yesterday, and where the Titans are right now? They're changing place kickers, and Jacksonville in the mix as well.
Well, I think the two teams that are not complete football teams, I'll start from the bottom up. And when you look at where the Colts are in comparison, Jacksonville is not a complete football team. I mean, they have the ability to play good defense, but they don't always play good defense. They're not a very good offensive football team. So they are anything but a complete football team. Now they're competitive, and they do scare me. They scare me a little because they have had some real defensive moments against us, but we're a better football team. We're a much more complete football team. I don't fear Tennessee. I don't think Mariota can take you to the promised land if you play him correctly, which we have learned to do. He has struggled against us. Their defense, although I will say this, their defense for the first time had a much better game plan against us, but they have not in recent times played us worth a damn, really. They haven't played us worth a damn. They didn't play us worth a damn before. The interesting one is Houston. I've looked at them a lot. I just peeked at yesterday's game. Watson was out of his mind yesterday. I mean, you saw Watson at his very best. I do think Watson is a bit of an elevator player. I love the kid. I love what he does, his talent, his leadership ability, smart, great athlete. But, I mean, he has those great moments, and then he has clunkers like he had 2 weeks ago. I think you can game plan him, again, a lot like this last guy, a lot like Mahomes. The more you keep him in and cut his legs off, the better you're going to be. The one thing that they've done, I think Fuller coming back really makes them a better team. He had a huge game. In recent times, without Fuller, you could basically direct coverage, to Hopkins, who's very, very good, and be pretty successful. But Fuller, had one of those huge days yesterday. And before he got hurt last year, I thought that he was really impactful. And he has that deep speed to pierce the defense. So unless they get banged up with Coty, and then their tight end came on pretty good yesterday, 87, I would say that they would threaten us with probably a better perimeter team than Kansas City was yesterday. Now, when Kansas City has all their tools, it's different. I think Hyde and Duke Johnson have given them a decent running game. Still on offense, the key will be, can their offensive line, protect him over the long haul? Tunsil has really helped at left tackle. They still have a rookie, the kid from Alcorn at right tackle, and they have Sharpening from Northern Illinois at left guard. So I don't think they've got that totally fixed. Now, they're a defense that's in the top 10. So when you look at them compared to Kansas City, there's no comparison. You've got stars like Merciless, Watt, Reeder, much better front seven team. You're not going to walk it through them. The problem that Houston has had, and I say this time after time, they're pretty well coached, but they have no clue against the Colts. They have never played us. They have not figured out how to play Hilton. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'll talk a little bit about it next week. And, Jonathan Joseph is just petrified when he plays against Hilton. Hilton has killed him week in and week out. So I look at it very optimistically, thrilled to death with the defensive transition yesterday. I think if that continues, we're clearly the best. Houston, good football team. Houston is not a gimme because they have stars in a lot of places. They have some ambient guys, but that will be very, very interesting, a week from Sunday.
Rick Venturi on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline every Monday with all you need to know, brought to you by the District Tap with Northside locations and the other one downtown. It's always a pleasure, man. That was fantastic, and we're good to go next Monday, right?
We're going to go next Monday. We'll make that big Houston game plan. I will be in the Trop tomorrow. Today was a work day.
Yeah.
I'll be in the Trop tomorrow, see if the Rays can extend that to 5 and get old Charlie Morton back in there with a couple days rest.
They got all over Zach Greinke today.
Yes,
they did.
And but those first two guys, I'm telling you, they just killed us. Verlander, of course, and then Garrett Cole, who we knew pitched in Indianapolis. But if they can somehow get it to Game 5 and get Morton back in there, there's an outside chance.
Always a pleasure, man. We'll talk to you later on this week.
All right, John. Talk at you.
Rick Venturi on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Let me take a break. I got 30 with you. 239-1070. Who wants some? We'll do it. Other side next.
Sports gamblers, let's go. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 to Bet Indiana right here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes. Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fantastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
Hey, John here for Diamonds Direct. You know, there are a lot of things to love about Diamonds Direct, but here is absolutely one of them. A first-class experience all the way around. It starts with the Diamond Education, which is comprehensive. You'll learn absolutely everything, how things are priced on the world market. You'll learn the inside secrets that others simply do not want you to know. But Diamonds Direct, they educate you on this too. Plus, the best deals. I mean, the best prices on everything. Whether it's time for you to get engaged and you need that perfect ring, or if you need something for the upcoming holiday season, something incredibly special, they have that for you at great prices. An incredible selection, warranties and guarantees that are absolutely unmatched. It's just a great shopping experience, and you'll feel confident in your decision, and you'll come back again and again. They're the absolute best. And I'm here to tell you, I use them all the time. I have now for going on 9 years. It's Diamonds Direct. Tell them I sent you. Keystone at the Crossing.
So, you're a Cubs fan. Well, hold on to your helmet nachos, because Marquee Sports Network is coming with more Cubs than ever. In fact, more is a bit of an understatement. A huge home runs landing on Waveland-sized understatement. Because Marquee Sports Network will bring you pregame, postgame, game, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and on top of the scoreboard. A network as dedicated as you. Marquee Sports Network, the exclusive new television home of Cubs baseball. Coming February 2020.
Unlike Football Fanatic Guy, who cheers shirtless in the winter, most of us are not fans of being cold. So this winter, if you have furnace problems, call the home team at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. They're going to send out expert technicians that'll help you determine if it's time for a new system. Oh, and if you happen to be Football Fanatic Guy, you just keep doing your thing, okay? In the meantime, I'll tell you that a furnace's lifespan is usually about 16 years, give or take. And if you're hearing clunking noises or other strange sounds, that could mean your furnace is on the way out. But 1 Hour is home to some of the best trained techs in the business, and they can suggest a new high-efficiency system that will fit your home and family's needs. And make sure you ask them about financing plans that work comfortably with your monthly budget. Right now, we'll give you a free 10-year parts and labor warranty with a brand new heating and air conditioning system. My friends over at 1 Hour are offering a special right now, which I just told you about, the free 10-year parts and labor warranty with a new heating and air conditioning system. Make sure you call them at 855-1-HOUR. 855-1-HOUR. Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. License 800-10668.
Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com, offering competitive odds on game lines, futures, and prop bets. With 50-plus in-game bets on pro football games. Make bets while the game is being played, like who will score next, how will the current drive finish. You will earn rewards for every bet you place with our innovative loyalty program. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250 using one of our 12 deposit methods. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Playable only in Indiana.
Hey, it's Dan Dockage here for Window Nation. Mother Nature has a warning for you. When the leaves start changing, you should think about changing too. Changing the old windows on your home, Window Nation can help you get ready for the colder weather now with this offer. Window Nation is going to make protecting your home from the elements easy with the Fall into Savings sale. Right now, get 2 free windows for every 2 you buy, wood or vinyl styles. Buy 4, get 4. There's no limit. Plus, receive 0% interest for 18 months. No interest until 2021. Over 80,000 customers have chosen Window Nation to protect their home from nature's elements. Trust me. I have them, and I love them. New energy-efficient windows make a big difference in a home's comfort and heating bills. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. Get 2 free windows for every 2 you buy. Buy 4, get 4 free. Buy 8, get 8 free. There's no limit. 0% interest till 2021. That's 18 full months. 866-90Nation or WindowNation.com.
Abra Auto Body Repair of America, the name you've come to know and trust for expert collision repair for over 30 years, is now Caliber Collision. A name that is also well known for getting people back on the road quickly and safely and, in turn, restoring the rhythm of your life. Now you can get world-class collision repair backed by a national lifetime warranty at over 1,000 locations. A new name, great people, and the same high standards in customer service. Abra is now Caliber Collision.
Listen every week during Colts season for the Beef Up Front Report with Big Joe Stasiak. Brought to you by Anthony's Chop House in Carmel, at Maine and the Monon.
Homes are selling fast, and if you haven't found your dream home, listings are coming onto market daily. Get a leg up on your competition and get pre-approved in 5 minutes at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Ride with JMV.
If somebody gets in your face and calls you a I want you to be nice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
You guys have been fantastic today. Oh, man, got a lot of sports tonight. I mentioned, too, you got a couple of division series games. We'll see if both can be extended. Like the Rays did earlier today, 10-3 over the Astros. Charlie Morton gets the win. Zach Greinke only lasted 2 2/3. And the Rays hang in there, now getting their first win. Game 4 up next. Middle of 6, the Cardinals trying to hang on. This is Game 4, and with a win, the Braves move on to the NLCS. 4-3 Braves right now, middle of 6 from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. 6:40 the start time, Dodgers and Nationals. The Dodgers with a Game 4 closeout opportunity. And in the best of 5, the Yankees with a sweep opportunity tonight on the road against Minnesota. That game's first pitch is scheduled around 8:40 to close out week number 5 for the NFL. We're going to watch, if you want to, the Browns and the Niners coming up later on tonight. How many of you out there actually went with the Colts? Took the points and took the Colts. Or maybe better said, who wants to own it? How many of you laid the points and took the Chiefs? How many out there did that? Just out of curiosity. JMV, I agree that Toure was a big game changer. I think his injury is a big loss for the defensive front, yes, but I hope the defense can continue to come together like last night's game. Rich, thank you. Basics, JMV, this is from Kevin Walsh. First thing I was taught when I was in grade school was don't telegraph your passes, number 7. First thing I was taught in grade school was it's okay to sniff the white paste, but don't eat it. And look the pass into your hands, 85. Don't eat the, because I'm telling you what, 2 things when we were growing up, and this may still hold true. I don't know so much anymore. Remember when you had little round plastic jars of paste that had the little stick in the middle, a little brush on it, used to paste stuff on? That smelled good, and Play-Doh smells good. I always wanted to eat Play-Doh. I don't know about anybody else, but it always smells so damn good, I thought, I need to eat some Play-Doh. Did you ever want to eat Play-Doh? God, it smells so good.
Yeah, I don't know about eat it, but
it might be the best thing. It might be the best smelling thing that we can't eat.
That and the rubber cement, that's what you're talking about, the little the brush on the end.
I love it. What do you think? Well, there was one back in the day that used to sniff, and it would get you going. Supposedly, give you a headache. What are other things that smell good and we're not allowed to eat? See? Don't. I think gasoline smells good, but I'm not allowed to drink it. Play-Doh just thought, God, I want to take a bite of that. Dang it. Thank you, Kevin, for that. JMV at 1070thefan.com. What worries me is the fact that the Chiefs D is pretty awful. And, I'm not complaining here. But the Colts only scored 19 points against that crapbag defense. Listen, there are opportunities. You need to seal it with a 7 and not settle for 3. That's something we talked over a little bit earlier, too. I mean, two things negatively that I think you can be critical of coming out of that game was Ebron. I mean, Eric's going to have to join the program here pretty soon. And then just the settling for 3 and not getting 7 opportunities there moving forward. And then get healthy. But listen, there is not a much better way in the world you could have gone into a bye week as the Colts did last night. Truly impressive. All right, quick one, final time. You and me at 239-1070. Colts Roundtable Live, top of the hour. I'll tell you all about that. The guest list tomorrow, where I am going to be the rest of the week, and then a little bit of next week as well. I'll tell you all about that. And how about some Deep Purple tickets coming? You want to do that right now? All right, Deep Purple. A lot of you knobs probably learned how to play this via Guitar Hero. It is one of the best guitar riffs of all time. Deep Purple. That show is coming up October the 12th on a Saturday night. The Long Farewell Tour. Murat Old National Center. I got a pair for somebody right now. Let's go number 10. 239-1070. 239-1070. Number 10, Deep Purple. Long Farewell Tour, number 10, 239-1070. We'll get a winner there. Thank you, Jimi Hendrix and the Murat, for that. And close out the show with you on the other side next.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission on Thanksgiving Day. All you can do is log on, 1075thefan.com.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Come share a Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party next Monday from 5 until 7 at the Meijer in Zionsville, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet a current Colts player and have a chance to win tickets. Live from the Winner's Circle downtown this Thursday, 3 until 6, it's JMV as he broadcasts for Larceny Locks and Lunazul Shots. Come listen to the Larceny Lock and enjoy some Lunazul Shots while making your sports bets of the week.
For more info, click on 1075thefan.com.
John from PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com. Going bald on top. You don't want to go bald. You want the days of the butt cut, the feathered hair, the comb in your back pocket, command performance in the front window, getting that butt cut from Debbie, those days you miss. You simply want your real growing hair again with PAI, and you can get it. PRP, platelet-rich plasma. That's really all that I know other than it works. Let Darren Andrews explain that to you, how that can regrow your hair, your real growing hair again at 888-724-5129. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairAndy.com today.
Summer is over and cold weather is coming, and Universal Windows Direct will help you keep those heating bills down. Custom made to perform in our climate thanks to aerospace technology called Super Spacer, Universal Windows Direct windows are backed by a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free, absolutely no limits, and 0% financing is available for 3 years and free installation. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday, and I want to tell you what to do if you ever have a fire or flood or mold damage at your home or place of business. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup. I can tell you firsthand that their customer service and response time is second to none in Indiana. So if you ever have an unexpected fire or flood like I did, call the only Indianapolis restoration company that I used in my home. Call More Restoration or visit morerestoration.com. And hey, tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
At Shane Company, we believe finding your dream ring should be fun and easy. That's why we created some exciting new tools that you can only find on our website, shaneco.com. Try our matchmaker. You'll be presented a variety of ring styles, and all you need to do is tap on your favorites. Within seconds, you'll be shown a selection of engagement ring styles curated just for you. Our virtual try-on is another great feature we just launched. It lets you virtually try on any Shane Company engagement ring. Find a ring style you like, then experiment with different center stones. Play with the shape of the stone. See what stone size looks best on your hand. Make the center stone a diamond or a ruby or a sapphire. Only Shane Company has over a dozen colorful shades of sapphires. Have fun on Shenko.com with our matchmaker and our virtual try-on. Save and share your favorites, then visit us in-store or online to bring your dream ring to life.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and Shenko.com.
Hey, it's Brian from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg. I'm here with our spokesperson, Rob Belushi.
Brian, I'm no photographer, but I can picture us together.
It must be truck month because you're trying out your pickup lines?
Yeah, it's truck month, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9, and this truck is the one you need.
Or how about I just tell them about the deals? This month you can save up to 27% off F-150s and up to 20% on all new Fords.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I drive by again in my new F-150?
Rob, I'm married.
But are you happy?
Rob, stop. Talk about our 170 pre-owned vehicles with 1.9% for 60 months.
That's a lot of pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and 27% off is a great deal on a truck.
If I was a truck, I'd need some coolant because truck month has my engine overheating.
Ew, Brian. Nobody falls for pickup lines. Fall in love with pickup trucks during truck month at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and see why Indianapolis rates us #1 in customer service.
You broke my heart, Rob.
This is Mark Rowland from Indy Decorative Concrete. We've put our stamp in more backyards than anybody. Thanks to all the DIY shows, stamped concrete is finally getting its recognition. And why not? With all the textures, colors, we can even make your patio look like wood. Now here's the big win for you. I can still get your patio in this fall with a warranty. Drop by our website at indydecorativeconcrete.com, then give me a call.
Indy Decorative Concrete. Order it, stamp it, love it.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. When it comes to your financial freedom, the best thing that you can be is an informed consumer. Maybe you've been thinking about a cash-out refinance or purchasing a new home, but you're not sure if it's the right time. You need to at least hear your options. Custom loan advice from the Home Loan Expert team only takes 5 minutes, and the best part, it's free. Call us today or visit us at thehomeloanexpert.com for our 5-minute loan approval. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save at Big O Tires with up to $150 off a set of 4 Big O brand tires now through October 13th. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Hey, it's Dan Doggins. We're going to continue to talk about the greatness of the Indianapolis Colts. That's right. Don't at me. You go in there, you do what you did. You're great. Chappie, Matt Taylor, and a whole bunch tomorrow.
The Ride with JMV.
You take drugs, Danny? Every day. Good. So what's the problem? I don't know.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. We're going to do this for a final time. Who won the Deep Purple tickets?
Johnny Bennett.
Johnny Bennett? My God, Johnny Bennett, way to go. JMV at 1070thefan.com. JMV, I know it's out of the football element, the celebration of the Colts, but give me a couple of songs that you used to like that you feel really weird about playing or listening to today. Oh, well, Brian, that is quite the question right there. Let me search my memory bank really quick. Well, Winger 17 is a little awkward. She's only 17 is a little awkward. And I like this a great deal, too. The song from Yacht Rock, Into the Night by Benny Mardones. She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they say. You know, that's, yeah. Yeah. And then to be completely honest, I try to separate everything because I just love music, right? And I do. I love Michael Jackson's song PYT, but you can't hear it any longer without thinking Pretty Young Thing. What? Yeah. I want to love you, PYT, Pretty Young Thing. So, yeah, 3 right there out of the memory bank. My database is just incredible. There's probably more, but those are the 3 that stick out, Brian. Hope that does answer your question. Top of the 7th inning they're into right now. The Braves hanging tough. New kids on the block. 4-3 right now, top of the 7th inning. Over the Cardinals. Closeout opportunity on the road in St. Louis for the Braves. So how about that? Losing game 1 and then winning 3 straight. That's very Reds of them if they do that. That's how it's been, right? 1, 2. Wait a minute. Is this this close out, right? They won. Yeah, they won 2 and 3. What did the Reds do the last time they were there? They went to San Francisco and won the first 2 games and then lost 3 straight at home. So no, they're still not going to be that bad. So celebrate it. Johnny Cueto. Remember Johnny Cueto looked awesome and then he got injured? First 2 games on the road in San Francisco and come back and lose 3 straight at home. Telling you what, there's a reason why Cincinnati sports fans are the way that they are, and I think we all should understand it for stuff like that. Or, watching this Bengals act right now, too. Is Miami by far the worst team of the unbeatens? Who do you think would win? Well, we'll see, I guess, if the Jets are still unbeaten. I haven't checked out Miami's schedule, but
Miami.
Washington's pretty damn bad.
We'll see next week. Redskins travel to Miami.
That's
next
hot.
Week.
Oh, that's good. Bill Callahan, the interim head coach. I don't think the Redskins will ever be very good again. But there was a time when they were it. I mean, everybody wanted to be that. Everybody wanted to be a part of what Joe Gibbs built there and what they had. Who was the other? Jack Kent Cook back in the day. They were playing at RFK, always the 4 o'clock in the afternoon game. Winning Super Bowls, part of the best, always getting Summerall and Madden. Man, they're a mess. Daniel Snyder. Absolute mess. All right, top of the hour, Colts Roundtable Live. Hashtag Colts Roundtable if you guys want your questions in. That is Frank Wright, Colts head coach, Matt Taylor, Jim Sorgi, and Joe Wrights coming up at the top of the hour for you. Colts Roundtable Live. We got the Dodgers and the Nats coming up later on tonight. Rich Hill on the hill for the Dodgers. I think Scherzer's got the ball, right? What did they do pitch Corbin? Corbin, pitched 2 days in a row. Almost 2 out of the last 3. Dude looked like he was serving him up in a wiffle ball yesterday. All right. Great day of calls. You guys are really good. I was okay. I was above suck, I think. Just okay. Not completely sucks is what I was today. Rick Venturi, podcast 1075thefan.com. He was outstanding. All you need to know is right there. Kyle, tip of the cap to you. Thursday and Friday, I will not be here, but you guys are going to have folks that are going to be really, really good and a hell of a lot better than me. I'll tell you about that coming up on tomorrow's show. We'll relive today and talk about that Sunday nighter. Up next, top of the hour, Colts Roundtable Live on 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe.
My man, Mike Wells. I'm at the press box. Mike, you were looking sharp in that suit there, man.
I told you where I picked up the suit at, man. I'm a thrift shopper.
I don't care.